good stuff.
Ah, crud. Set Monkey beat me into the chat.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. Sup, Monkey is a pretty decent fella.
Yeah, he's always super quick with it. Hey, good to see you, sir. Oh, all right. Get my head turned on straight, squared away. Good afternoon, Phantom. Let's go ahead and let's kick off our pre-roll with the GHA video first so we can get that going. That way we're not taking too long for everybody tonight. It's going to be a good night tonight, I think. We have some fun stuff happening here. Debuting some new technology. Enjoying some old players and an even older DM. About to get older.
That's for sure.
Yeah, that is for sure.
The best TPK you've ever seen.
Hey, Josh, good to see you. By the way, Josh is now a mod for us, Iculus. 1030, he's now a new mod for Blue Box. As we continue to grow, you know, we're doing everything we can to make sure we support the community and keep everything. Hey, Jay, good to see you.
There's Lord Gazumba.
Lord Gazumba. This is night 2. Yes, you're going to see some new tech. It's pretty crazy. Well, I think you will. Assuming the players do what I think they'll do, but
we're gonna go in a completely different direction,
well,
guys.
then you know what?
Railguns?
I may still be ready for that. So that's kind of part of the new tech is increasing DM readiness to have a story, but also keep the sort of freedom of the sandbox feel. So we'll see how all that rolls.
Is John really quiet to anybody else, or is it just me?
Well, I didn't know if I had my headset turned down.
Right.
Who's quiet? Me?
You sound really quiet to me.
Just to
I've turned you all the way up in my ears.
you sound good to me.
I sound good to you, Terry?
Yeah.
That's just you don't want to hear me.
No.
All right, so I turned my mic up a little bit. I'm normally too loud, so.
Double check. Oh, here.
And it's probably.
Is that monkey sense of sound?
Okay.
Yeah, we've got the Greyhawk video playing, and that's pretty loud, so. All right, good. Thanks, Josh. Everybody else said it's fine. I knew it was your fault, Evelyn.
I adjusted the levels. We're good now. That's why I asked if everybody else would have.
Yeah, it should be hard to tell with the audio going.
Emerald green.
It's not a bad idea.
Blue is, I hear, pretty hard to do.
Lord
Blue turns
Ford!
green really fast.
Congrats on the mouse pad, William.
I've dyed my hair blue a couple times and it always ends up green.
Yeah, I hear it's like really tricky to get it.
I was thinking.
I got it
pink
dark
again,
blue,
too.
but
Yeah.
it lasted for like 2 days and then it turned green.
No, you did pink already, didn't you?
I did. So I guess a new color would be good.
Thank you to Anna B. Meyer for the incredible map. And welcome to Blue Box Greyhawk Awakening. This is session 40, entitled Ever Watched, Always in Darkness. And with that, we're going to kick it off and introduce you to our crew. Boom! Welcome, everyone. You all look great. Good to see you. You will note we have a stand-in for the regular Lilith. It's the actual Lilith that's appearing on your video right now. We will be rolling tonight without her, but not without her in our thoughts. She's got a lot of stuff going on, and she really wanted to be here tonight, but she had something come up where she couldn't be, and send her best wishes to all of you. She'll be back with us next week. Welcome to all of our players, and we're going to have a fun night tonight. I am confident. Let me move Brim over just a bit more. All right, so we're going to kick off. We're going to look at our sponsors. Then we're going to talk about what happened last time. We'll do player introductions, and then I'm going to show you some really cool new tech we're debuting here tonight. If you're in our Discord, you've probably seen a little bit of it. We've been talking about it, and what you're seeing tonight is literally just V, not even 1. It's like V, 0.2. It's going to get so much better. The application that we're showing tonight is incredible, and of course our ability to use it is in its fledgling state. So you're going to really see some cool stuff as we get this stuff going. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so let me kick off our sponsors, and we've already shown our Greyhawk video. We want to thank, first of all, our amazing sponsor, Frederica Draws. All the artwork that you see tonight, with the exception of Squeaks, for our players. Squeaks was done by Mark Views. That's a little mouse that sits next to Gimbal. You forgot about Squeaks. No, you can't forget about Squeaks. That is where we're starting the session tonight, my friend. Oh, hey, Johnny Fox, good to see you. Obsidian, man, all right, good to see all of our friends joining us. Check out Frederica Draws. She does take commissions, and her artwork is incredible. Her process is great as well. Mantic Games, makers of Terrain Crate. They're actually ready to send us more stuff. The ball's in my court. I need to get back to them on the things we want here for giveaways. We feature their stuff on our table. We gave away appropriately a Mantic Games torture set last week, so we just appreciate all they do. Their Kings of War series is incredible. They were originally introduced to us by Steve, Bloodwild SW, and Steve, he's not been on in a while, but he's still a friend of the channel. He's got a lot of stuff going on as well in, as the kids say, RL, and just keep him in your thoughts as well, and hopefully we'll see him back here very soon. Don't laugh at me, Terry. Then let's go to let's talk about next Cozy Gamer Dice.
Time to dance.
Huzzah! Maker of not just great dice, but friendly dice. Dice that just make you happy because they roll well, unless your name is Rory. So thank you to Cozy Gamer. And then, of course, Mike Disney, the incredible Mike Disney. He crushed it during all of GaryCon. He appeared as the nemesis in the Joust, but he is much more than that. Check out his channel. Everything is in our Discord chat, pardon me, our Twitch chat below. Click that link. He runs a lot of early morning sessions, usually around 6 o'clock a.m. on weekdays. And you're missing out if you don't tune in. He shows so much about how to paint minis, how to work with what they call green stuff, how to craft and hone and chisel and Dremel and all kinds of really crazy stuff that he does. Plus, he's entertaining. He is. If you watch his stuff, it's not just a boring guy showing you how to paint. It's a very entertaining artist that will engage you, and you have to check out Mike Disney. And then our newest sponsor, Ferox. Check this out. They have these really amazing brush holders. A lot of our artists here use their stuff. They're modular in design, very easy to work with. You can hide your stuff inside them, work with this wet palette structure, and then they do laser engraving. So there's custom stuff that they're making for Blue Box. I don't have those holders yet, but they're coming soon. Their magnetic mini holders are sick. And so we are really excited to be working with Ferox, and you can see their stuff down below in the chat. All right. Who did I forget? I'm sorry. Who did I forget?
LG.
I'm sorry.
Lord.
Oh yes. Oh, how could I forget Trollord Games? I'll tell you how I forgot, because I don't have their logo up on my sponsor channel yet. But that's our newest sponsor, the amazing folks at Trollord Games. By the way, we just kicked off our first Friday Night Crusades, which is based on Castles and Crusades, on our Discord, and you're going to be seeing all kinds of content from Trollord Games that'll be propagated across all of our Blue Box channels and all of our different streams. They make some amazing stuff. Plus, they're just good people. I mean, I talk to Stefan and Chuck all the time, and you like to work with people that are like-minded and just good-natured, authentic, humble. That's everything about Trollord Games. And so check them out. You can download their basic stuff, their player's guide is free. It's a PDF. You can just download it for free. And so go ahead and check that out. You can pull it down, but then also support them. Buy a book. They got all kinds of custom modules, and we want to really help Trollord Games continue to grow because they're not only great content, they're just flat out great people. All right. So with all of that said, before I show you the new tech we're going to be debuting tonight, let's go to what happened last time.
All right, so last time we started off after the fort had been claimed by the party, and the man known as Gron was still in chains. There was a bit of discussion first about why the Dark Brotherhood was following the party, because Rin and Elandra had some questions. But after Gimbal kind of filled them in more on what was going on, then Brim went to Gron and offered to help him break his chains, and Rin assured him that he could trust Brim, that Brim would not hurt him. So Brim managed to break the chains with his blade, and the man basically said a thank you and kind of wandered out while the party discussed lots of things for a while. Where to proceed next, because they were standing within a fortress with a big old portal inside of a tent, and there's questions. Cole had his thoughts. A lot of people were uncertain about whether to go through the portal, Lilith being particularly concerned about Gimbal, especially when he started to ponder sticking his head through it. She was a little worried about something happening to him again, and ended up throwing a pebble through and watched what happened. But there was a bit more conversation back and forth. Brim gave a lovely speech about how it's important for every part of the party. They're all necessary, and without each other, they cannot achieve the things that they are able to do. And so working together is the most important thing, and making those choices together is the most important thing. Rin had actually told Call that he was the most stealthy amongst them, so Call took that as a bit of a challenge to see if he could be the one to go through the portal first, even though everyone was suggesting maybe we rest and then do the portal thing. But yeah, so he went. After taking a rope that was offered to him by Elandra at Lilith's suggestion, and tied it around his waist, and then continued on, and then he went through the portal. But before that, because there was one more key thing, realizing that Squeaks had been actually used as the scrying source for Halia all this time, particularly the plate in Squeaks' head. Lilith gave Call a tooth, but Gimbal made sure that Squeak could not see it, and he had pressed the anti-scry medallion to Squeaks' head to prevent Squeaks from seeing the item, but also Halia potentially using Squeaks to see what the item was given to Call, which was a canine tooth, so that in potentiality, since we have run into these palings before, making sure that we could actually know Call was Call, meeting him later down the road.
Right.
But yeah, so as soon as he went through the portal, that's where we ended last time.
All right, well done, as always. And holy smokes, we're not even past the intro. We got a level 5 hype train. I've been trying to keep up with everything in the chat, but thank you so much, everybody. We love all of you, and we're glad you like what we're doing here and support what we're doing with Blue Box. Of course, everything that you give, I promise you, every dime of it goes back into this stream, the giveaways, the technology, the minis, the terrain, but it does help, and we so appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's go through quickly. Let's do our player intros, and then I'm going to show you some of the new technology that we're running tonight. 127% of an L5 hype train.
Just to make sure everyone got it, all players got 2 advantages, and John, you got 4.
Are you sure that wasn't? I got 14, and all players got 2. I think that's what I saw. All right.
14 disadvantages.
Yeah, all right. Thank you so much for the advantages. I've got those marked down. Everybody mark them down. Let's go to you, Terry, first. Introduce your PC for us, please.
had to find the unmute button. Of course, I am Rin Autumncrest, a level 5 cleric, half-elf in nature, who has a wonderful little journal, draws pictures to keep his memory of what everybody is and who everybody is, and collects lots of little things, including little herbs and spices and leaves. Such a nice guy.
Yeah, well done as always, Terry. And while we miss Shorewin, we are loving Rin and seeing the what do they call that, range? I guess your range. It's fantastic. And by the way, yes, the chat. Everybody's commenting. Thank you, Johnny. Oh my God, you guys are killing it. This is the second night of my humiliation. I am wearing the Dino shirt, which I had committed to wear when we hit 100 viewers on a regular stream, which we did last Tuesday night. I promised to wear it for a week, but I did not cheat the system because, of course, we took the week off last week after Tuesday because of all the time the players and the DM put into GaryCon. So I'm going to wear all this week. I'll be suffering through this tonight and tomorrow night for LMA, and then one last time for our Rune Lords group on Sunday. That group hasn't seen it yet, so that'll and then it's gone. It's burned, or actually somebody told me this might have to appear at BlueBoxCon. We'll see. All right, let's go to Gimbal. Rory.
Yep, so my name is Gimbal. I'm all 3'1", and I keep running into these situations that I'm not always so fond of. But I calculate them out, I figure out what to do, and I rely on my friends to pull me out of the jams, of course.
Yes, and what Gimbal has, he's gone through it, of course. Our resident gnome is missing a finger, he's missing an ear, and he has gone through it on a number of levels, but he has maintained his steadfast support of the party, except for the departed Shorewin. Yes, thank you so much. We completed our hype train. Let's go, and let's go to Ilandra.
Yes, I'm Alondra Tavain. I am a level 5 Beastmaster Ranger. I am a half-elf, and I think Call is being very rash, but, he's gonna do what he's gonna do, so.
And he, in fact, did. And then, last but not least, we're going to go to Brim. And Brim, of course, you know what is up on tap. Once you're finished introducing your player, your PC rather, I want you to go ahead and give us our Monster Monday on Tuesday.
All right. Okay, so Brim is a half-ogre, level 6 fighter, waiting to get level 7 for some fun stuff. Also, little add-ons with himself with everything that's going on and his father having been taken.
And now Monster Monday.
Take it away, Josh.
Flying from above, you better find cover, wings flying fast. I flap, I don't hover. Spines from my tail, piercing your mail. Magical effects, advantage to me. Multi-attack, you're going to bleed. Flyby, don't try to attack. Devil sight, even in pitch black. Fork it over, my bite's gonna hurt. I may be small, but this jerk will leave you in the dirt.
Woo!
What creature am I?
Always bars. So no. So I was going where they were going initially, but I think you changed the narrative there at the end with how small you are. So the guesses early included manticores. You'd have a spiny bat. Then it changed to a rock. Nope. A flying platypus.
You're close, Pat Draws.
Sturges. That's a pretty good guess. Anybody else?
A mini manticore. That'd be funny.
A mini manticore. Porcupine. Imp?
Nobody's got it so
A
far.
pseudo dragon. That's a good guess, but I don't think that's it either. Is this the first stump you've done to our Blue Box crew?
I think so.
A mosquito. Right, Patrick, exactly. No, it wouldn't be a basilisk.
No? Something very mean.
All right,
Yes.
so Josh, for sake of time, go ahead and, for the first time ever, Joshalisk. You have stumped the crew. Go ahead and tell him mother-in-law. I love that, 888. Go ahead. What is it, Josh?
The creature was from the 5th edition, of course, as I always do it, but a spined devil.
A spine devil, very good, and a vampire dino. No, I will tell you though, the technology that I'm about to show you tonight, it is unfortunate. Many of the creatures they have early on are in fact dinosaurs in their models. It's kind of funny how that worked out. Did you notice that too? Okay, without further ado, we're going to get to playing some D&D tonight, but I am so excited to be showing you a new tool tonight. Many of you have seen this in our Discord. It is called Tailspire. So I'm going to pop off, I'm going to play a video for you. And we are in, as I said, V.1. We're not even V1 yet. We have a lot of work to do to really understand how to use this tool. We're not going to be engaging the play. Man, I do look like I'm on tropical vacation. This is so distracting to me to try to create. This is blowing my immersion to be wearing this thing. But we want to show you this. I think you'll like it. So what I'm showing you now is an example of what can be created with this tool. This is not what's going to be happening tonight, but it's pretty incredible. And we're going to pop in the chat, not a sponsor, but a friend of the channel. The gentleman who created this, his name is John. He goes by Demongund. He's got a Patreon, and we're going to drop his Patreon creds. He's just getting started. I think he's got 6 followers on his Patreon, but he's going to be putting out a lot of content for this tool. This tool goes on early access on the 14th of April. So Tailspire will be available to everybody in about 8 days. They were kind enough to reach out to Blue Box after I had reached out to them about a month ago, and they came back and they had watched some of our stuff. They really liked what's happening on the channel, the style of play, the players, the Greyhawk, the minis, the community, the mad chatters, and so they gave us early access to it before the early access, which we're so grateful for. And check this out. It is mind-blowing. So this is available for purchase on DM's Guild. This particular build. That's the appropriate reaction, Josh. Nerd chills. All right, so to be clear, Tailspire is the tool. We have it. We're going to use it a little bit tonight. Again, neophyte usage. But Demongund, or Demongund, I don't know how he pronounces it, he's the one that created this model. And so his Patreon is in there. Also, he's selling this through DM's Guild because it is WotC IP. So you want to make sure you go through them. And I think it's like $14, but you have to have the actual Tailspire application, of course, which will be available for early access on the 14th. This is their Chimera build, so it's sort of beta +2, and I'm sorry to take so much time on this, but I think this is going to be a game changer. Now, something I want to just make sure is clear to everybody, and I think all my players understand this as well. I remain committed to tabletop minis and terrain, not just because I have a ridiculous investment in it, but because I love it. I love the physical touch of the minis. I love what it brings to the game. It harkens back to the origins of the game. So here at Blue Box, we're not going total VTT. I think we're going to have a really unique amalgam of VTT, but not just there's some stuff out there which is more sort of 2D or things that people are using, and I've looked at it. I'm not casting aspersions. It just didn't meet my standard for the way I wanted my players and my viewers to feel immersed, and the way I felt I could create with my physical tabletop. Now, for the first time, I think I have something which I can match to my virtual and physical tabletops. And so imagine now a setting where the players, and I'll pull up the current setting here. So, you know, they're here, they're in the fort, which is where we're going to pick off, in the midst of the Pomage. They have tracked down the slavers. Don't confuse this with the Marquesa slavers of A1, A2. This is 40 years later, but still happening in the same place, but with more, as I'll talk about in a moment, evil intent, if possible, to be more evil than Marquesa. It seems they actually are. But let's say they're here, and then suddenly the players, they take a right turn. Maybe they go back, they travel back to Hamlet or Greyhawk, or they go to a tavern or an inn, or they go find a ship on the shore. Now, I'm not restricted by the size of my table, and you guys know I already have other things I used to work around that, because I've got my physical terrain, my Dwarven Forge trays. I can do a lot, but I have never been able to be as quickly moving with terrain and setups as I can now by combining a tool like this with my physical terrain. So thank you to the Tailspire group, Bouncy Rock, for giving us the early access. Thank you to Demongund, who actually he gave us that module at no charge, but I'm still going to buy his module, and then I'm going to use it as a giveaway for all of you. So when Tailspire goes live on the 14th, we'll be giving away that Death House that you just saw. That's going to be a giveaway here on Blue Box. Okay. Mind blown? Mind blown. So it was while someone said their geekometer had exploded, Robert, right? Exactly. So it is going to be so much fun. Okay. As we begin tonight's session, the Wayward Bolt, newly reconstructed, stands in the shattered ruins of the Slavers' Fort in the middle of the Pomage. Blood seeps into the soil all around you as the winter sun sinks low in the sky and dusk begins to cover the landscape. It is with this fresh knowledge that the party has been watched again for a second time, despite the best efforts of your sometimes cantankerous ally Byrne. You have had your villainous foil, Halia, who managed to, of all things, implant a medallion in the head of the beloved Squeaks, which, while restricted by Byrne's medallions, also gave some limited ability for her to trace. This then suddenly pieces together all of these seemingly odd coincidences of timing and placing. She has had her bead on you, whether it was the brush in Lilith's purse or whether it was Squeaks. There has been a constant knowledge of the location of the Wayward Bolt. And as I talked about at the end of last week's session, you now realize it is beyond physical torture. It is beyond killing. There is a psychological terrorism that's happening here. There is an intent to twist, to hurt, to malign beyond all reason that she continues to inflict upon you. As you stand now, the grief-stricken Brim, realizing that he unwittingly was the cause of the death of chained slaves against the walls of the fort, hearkening back to his own childhood in a way that was extremely painful for him. The new member, Call, leapt through the portal as described by our own Evelyn and vanished moments ago. It's now been, we're going to call this about 5-10 minutes of discussion among the party, so we're going to resume from this spot as Squeaks clings, shaking after trying to rip this medallion from his own skull, and we begin.
We're all standing huddled together, right? We're all in the
Yes,
same area.
exactly as you see here on the board. You're all right around each other.
And I believe Lilith had Squeaks still. Lilith, may I have Squeaks back?
Tonight, Lilith will be played by Evelyn.
I guess so. She hands it over to Gimbal.
Okay. And when Squeaks enters my arms, I'll have a very calm assurance that I'm trying to convey to him the entire time, regardless of outward actions. And I'll just step in. I've been thinking a lot in the last couple minutes about maybe how.
Are you restricting his arms because you still feel him struggling?
Oh, then yes.
Yeah, you could feel there's blood trickling down the temples of your little rat, and he is still he's inconsolable. He is trembling and twitching in your hands.
Okay. So yeah, I'll have one hand under him, one hand constricting his arms, and again trying to give that continual "you're safe" assurance. I think I may have an idea, and I'll move away from the group just a few feet, about 5 feet, so I'm standing as if they're my audience for performance.
Okay.
And I think I have an idea. Squeaks, I need you to hold still for just a couple minutes.
All right, so you obviously have a bond with him as well, so you're communicating with him. Go ahead and roll animal handling for me, and just give me your raw roll. I have your bonuses.
Is an 11.
You feel Squeaks slowly stills. He trembles in your hand. You can feel his whole body shaking. You actually note your hand feels warm as he is urinated in fear on your hand, but he stops resisting.
Now, Squeaks, please trust me. And again, just that, trying to convey that safety. If you guys know how my bag works, and I'll reach in. I got a plan, okay? And Holly has been screwing with us for a long time now. And previously, I had picked up a dagger from the dwarven caverns. And I'll pull that out, somewhat trying to not let Squeak see it, but I'll pull it out and lay it to my side.
You all see this.
And I'll reach back into my bag. I go, I got an idea. And I'll pull out and wave my hand in front of me as blue and yellow and red powder go in all of your faces. And I cast Color Spray.
Okay. Gimbal with the surprise play of the night. And hang on here, I didn't have one thing running. I want to get this up. So, Gimbal, tell them all the DC that they must roll to make the saving throw as the member of their party cast Color Spray on them.
Color Spray doesn't have one. 2 HD or less. 2 HD, 3 or 4 HD, 5 or more. The creature is stunned for 1 round.
Yeah. Okay. So
will negates in the description.
Yeah, there should be a will. Oh, it should be a will save negates.
Will negates saving throw.
Yeah, and remember. So which tier are you at now? Based on your level, how many HD of creature can you affect? And you would know this, so I'll let you rescind this if you wish to. But you've got a group of 5th level adventurers here, right? So if it's 3 to 4. Sorry, go ahead.
It just says 5 or more HD. The creature is stunned for 1 round.
Right.
And with a will, it'd be a 19 is my save.
Okay, so
Right, because it's 10 plus my intelligence plus my level.
right, so it's area of effect. If it's 5 or more, you said?
Yeah, 5 HD, right? So that's per character.
Right. Is that 5 or more, or like what if there's 6 HD?
Yeah.
Because we.
5 or more HD.
Okay. All right. So then everybody in the party, you have a will save DC 19 to make as a spray of powder of various colors goes into the air, wafted across the fort. Shockingly.
Question. We can use advantage here?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, then I'm using advantage.
Now he can use, if you want to use advantages, Rory, and if you have them,
Yes.
you can cancel those out. So do you wish to
Yes.
cancel out all 5, including Evelyn? I mean, including Lilith?
Lilith.
Oh yeah,
sorry,
4, all 4.
including
All right,
Lilith.
so you take away
And
4.
Phineas. Does Phineas need to make a will save?
Yeah, he I guess he would. Yes. So
Then all 5.
so
we
you
only
take
get
off.
to roll 1 die?
Yes, and each of you only roll 1 die now. He's used 5 of his viewer given advantages to make this a difficult saving throw for you.
And you said will save?
Yes, it's a will save DC 19.
24.
All right, okay, let's go around. I don't think it's going to go as well for Brim.
Nope. I didn't even use advantage. I just rolled when you guys were talking about rolling. I got an 18 on the die, but I have no bonus.
Oh.
Well, not only that, because he gave that disadvantage to you, if you didn't use an
true.
advantage, you would have had to roll a second die and take the lower
that
one.
is
So,
an 8.
yeah, all right. So, all right. So I need both Lilith and Elandra.
Okay, so Lilith got a 14. Alondra got a 23, and Phineas got a natural 20 plus 3, so that's a 23 for Phineas
Man,
as
you
well.
all suck.
Okay, so we have Lilith.
Plus 9 will save.
we have Lilith and Brim, who are both, as the color goes in the air, sprays all around. Oh, they stagger and they appear frozen. The remaining members of the party, now coated in colorful dyes or colorful powders, are looking at you.
I know it seems odd. You're new. I'll grab first Squeaks in my arms, using actually the elbow pit of my arm to hold Squeaks as I grab the dagger and across the fort to the other side where the wall was collapsed.
Okay, so you have. Let me make sure I heard this. So you grab Squeaks. You have the dagger in your hand, and you're moving across the fort to this breach in the fort wall, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So Brim, you're doing nothing. I'll move you over here just to get you out of the way.
You're good.
Lilith is doing nothing. I need to know what Phineas, Elandra, and Rin are all doing.
Rin's gonna look to Elandra, brush off some of the color on him. Do you have any idea what is going on with the little one?
And she's just looking down at all of the powder that is currently all over her armor and her cloak and everything, and she's just like, I am very confused, but I am slightly more certain that he might have lost his mind.
Rin's gonna go over to Brim, who's currently stunned. He's gonna look at him for a minute, and he's just gonna kind of shake him a little bit.
All right, you grab massive slabs of muscle. You see his eyes are frozen in place. Looks like he's dizzy, and you try to shake him. It's like trying to shake a massive rooted tree. He barely moves, and his eyes do not seem to react to you. Gimbal, what are you doing?
As fast as I can.
Phineas goes enraged.
He doesn't like stuff on his face. It's all in his nose.
Thank you very much. By the way, you got 10 more advantages back. Rory came from Kiegia. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kiegia. Okay, Gimbal is going to immediately, as I had mentioned, I'm going to be pinning Squeaks in my arms with my, with the pit of my elbow, reaching down and grabbing the dagger, and running over to the other side, And as the moment that I get to the collapsed wall, still holding him tightly, I'll set the dagger down by one of the deceased slaves
Okay.
and cast Speak with Animals.
All right. So as you rush over there, you set the dagger down. You do still see the crumpled bodies of the human and the half-orc crushed beneath the fort as it was brought down. You drop the dagger and you cast your spell. And we're going to go back to Elandra. What are you doing as you see Rin shaking and you see Gimbal running off toward the edge of the fort?
Well, since the powder did not seem to affect Rin and myself, I would look over to Brim and Lilith, who have been traveling with Gimbal for a while, and ask them, "Is this normal for him? Is this something he does?" And she's gonna look at both of them, not knowing that it's affected them. And she'll kind of walk towards Lilith, and noticing she's not reacted or responded, she'll kind of wave her hand in front of her face. Lilith?
You do so, and there's not even a twitch. She's breathing, but her eyes are catatonic, just staring straight ahead.
Ren, do you know what is going on with them?
So I haven't run into a lot of magic like this, but I have a feeling the little one did something to these two. Maybe some sort of I don't know, some sort of effect that made them fall asleep, or I don't have any way to actually get them moving again. The big one, though muscular, seems to be frozen like a statue, and that's not any good. We should probably go check to see what the little one's doing.
That seems like a good idea, because if you can't do anything about them, then maybe he can. I don't want to leave them like this. It doesn't seem safe to have several members of our group stunned when dude just went through the portal a little while ago. So Phineas, you stay here and watch Brim and Lilith, make sure they're okay. Let's go see what Gimbal's doing. And so she'll...
As I know, as Rin walks over, he's going to be very, very careful about how he walks over, because obviously this little one is got some sort of something up his sleeve, and he understands that the relationship between the three was close, but who knows if it's still close.
All right, so this conversation is happening while you cast your spell. So Rory, Gimbal, you cast Speak with Animals, and immediately you feel the connection enhanced that you have with Squeaks, and the sentience pours into your mind. All you hear is, sorry, 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 sorry.
And he'll see me as I keep him very close in proximity to me. I lay the dagger down. Squeaks, please. I understand. I understand. And I'll slip the medallion that Byrne gave me off my neck and give it to him so he has this medallion in his hands. Squeaks, take this. Hold it close to you, always. Every now and then, walk a little bit away. Let the game Halia played on us be played on her. Hold it close, and it will keep you safe. And I'll set him down, and I'll take my dagger, and I'll jab it into that body, and pull it out. And go, Squeaks, I'm always here. Now run.
You see the little rat, he looks back and forth. He clutches the medallion in his claws as blood still drips down from his head. He looks up at you, and you see there is a tear that swells in his eye. Oops, sorry guys, let me get that up there where it's supposed to be. There's a tear that swells in his eye Oh, I just realized I got an issue with my how I did these screens. I have to swipe through this one to get up to this one. I'll get that fixed by next week. He looks at you and he shakes his head as the tear falls down his cheek, but he is backing up even in obedience to your command.
We'll find each other. You know where Hamlet is. You know what I am, and I know how to find you. It won't be the last time. But let's start playing the game on Hollier, like she played on ours.
You hear, you're sure, you'll find me, you sure, you'll find me.
Death has taken me once. It didn't keep me. Nothing's gonna keep me from finding you either.
Okay.
And then I'll have an answer. And I'll make it so Hollier can never find me.
You see, you hear the footsteps of your two companions coming up behind you. Squeaks, he, with remarkable dexterity, he slips the amulet over his neck. He takes the slack, he ties a knot in it, so the amulet is now cinched around his own diminutive neck. And he starts slowly walking backwards. As he does this, you hear Rin and Elandra coming up behind you.
Are they close behind me?
Yeah, I mean they're close. They were only a few feet anyway. The fort's not that large, so they're now they saw you plunge the dagger into the body. They see you having this communication. It's all so close, and they were already moving that direction. So there's, but yes, you do see Squeaks. He starts backing away out the back of the fort.
Okay. So as he backs away, the medallion is now no longer on me,
Right.
or on either two of them. And I'll stand up and turn around and face the two of you, knowing that this is a very close area and you probably saw me, and show you the dagger. Look at the sky, give you a wink, and say, well, she played us with that rat, took care of what needed to be done, and give you another wink, whether you understand or not, and put the dagger in my pouch. I don't know if
John,
you guys saw the medallion or any of that.
I was going to ask John, did we see the exchange of the medallion to the rat, and would we have seen him communicating is the wrong word because obviously he's speaking animal language. Would we have seen him doing something with the animal? Oh, that's awkward.
You did not, Rin, but Elandra, you had a good angle on this, and of course your natural affinity for all things nature. You were watching this rat intently. You did see this exchange. You couldn't discern what was being said, but it was clear there was communication, and you saw the rat take this medallion even as the gnome plunged his dagger into the corpse. You saw all of this happen.
And she'll just kind of think a moment and say, curious, but all right. Now, what did you do to Lilith and Brim? Are they going to be okay? Because that doesn't
Oh,
seem...
crap! Yes! Oh, we're sorry. And I'll go over to them. By now, it should wear off.
Yeah, even as he says, "Oh crap," and the conversation is happening, Brim, you come unfrozen. You were conscious. You were able to see. You were actually facing that direction. You saw everything that happened. Thank you, Tim. You saw everything that happened, but you couldn't move. Suddenly, you come free.
All right. That was fun. Now
And
what?
Before we follow, I'm gonna grab Elandra off to the side a little bit and just very quietly to her. Are you certain these three are safe? They seem, well, let's just say I've not run into people who have done such unique things while I was in Hardby or even Fishtown.
Well, safe is very relative when you are in this line of business, but they don't seem bad or evil to me, and that's kind of a good place to start. They seem to at least be trying to help people.
And at that, Rin will see a little more color on Elandra, just kind of brush it off. Well, I hope I hope he doesn't do this color thing again. It seems to be a bit messy.
Yeah, I don't like particularly having things thrown in my face, but and she looks down at her hand that she's been holding the rope in, the extra 45 feet of rope that was, and she's noticing that it's starting to I would guess, like, there's less slack in it than there was.
Yep.
We probably should follow where this is going before I don't have any more rope.
All right.
So, sorry, point of clarification, DM.
Yes.
Brim was facing the broken wall?
Yes, he was.
Okay. I didn't specify.
Sorry,
So
yeah,
that's on
and
me.
so go with what the minis are showing when in doubt. But if you want clarification, let me know, because the minis aren't always perfect. I'm not always exactly on top of them. But yes, he
Yeah.
was, and the mini is also showing that.
Yeah, I should have clarified. I was hoping everyone was facing away from that wall, but I didn't clarify.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah, Brim was mid sneeze. He was like turning away. So he's more pissed about not being able to get to sneeze than anything, because it was like the
But
and then Rise Rin's in front of him. Oh, sorry.
Hey Bill, good to see you, Satra Scorn, and yes, I know the shirt is the shirt.
I know
Sorry.
this shirt is the shirt.
sorry about that, Brim. I pull out the dagger again and give you a wink, and I had to take care of some stuff. And you don't see squeaks on me, of course.
Had it coming.
Yep.
Gimbal,
Yes.
you did what was right?
Lilith kind of comes towards him as she's saying that.
Oh, could Lilith see this also? I didn't.
It looked like she was facing that way from the
Yeah,
minis.
pretty much the way I had everything set up. Everybody was facing that
Okay.
that wall.
Okay.
Sorry,
Okay.
I didn't realize you were
man,
trying to
did
be
I- did I
that
move
stealthy.
that one?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I did what had to be done so that, and my demeanor will fall. So it'll be harder for Holly to find us.
And I'm guessing Lilith would have some sense of understanding of his meaning and would just kind of, all right.
About Mr. Call, should we check on him or?
I think we should probably go that way because, yeah, we should at least see if we can see anything through the portal, I would imagine. So she'll continue holding the rope, kind of go towards the tent and look down through that portal that's in the ground, see if she sees anything through there, any sign of Call.
All right, as you move closer to the tent, again, you hear that strange droning sound. There is still the multicolored light flashing, but you notice it actually seems dimmer than it did previously.
All right, and when I look down, do I see any sign of Call through that space?
You don't. Go ahead and roll d20 for me, please.
All right, can I do this at advantage?
Yes, you certainly can.
Okay. That's a 19 on the die.
Okay, then yeah, so you don't see any sign of Call. You see just at the edge of your vision as you're looking, there is red rock and sand. The sky equally dusky as what you're seeing here. You see the end of your rope. It looks like it's severed, and there's blood. Also looks like there is firelight or some kind of a shifting illumination that you can barely see, but whatever the source is outside the view that you can see looking through the hole.
All right. So when she notices it looks like the rope is severed, she's gonna pull back on it and see if it's a trick or if it's just
You pull the rope back up, and as you pull it up, yes, you see it is in fact, it's been cut cleanly, and there is blood on the end of the rope.
She's gonna then turn around and face the others. Slight problem, and she's gonna hold up the end of the rope. I don't know what's happened to Call, but something cut this.
Wasn't me. That one wasn't me.
I wasn't thinking it was anyway. But there's some through the portal. I see red rock, sand, and the light seems to be the same as it is here. So somewhere within this part of Earth.
All right. So I guess we have two choices. Walk away from here, or head in after him.
Right. I think there's a third one, brother. We can search the area and then do either of those. So kind of poor choices.
Has Brim noticed that the portal is getting dimmer?
Did you go close to the tent? I mean, you wouldn't notice it from, the lights still flash from inside.
Okay.
Only Elandra, who got close enough to see, you notice it is probably about, let's call it a fifth smaller than it was before.
No, he wouldn't have noticed.
I mean, I would assume time is of the essence if the rope has already been cut. If we take more time to search the area, whatever's got Call may get further.
Is that bad?
Well, the point was to go after the other people that were captured. And if he's captured with all of those other people, then we probably should help them all.
Okay. So we're going? Brim? As I look at Brim and then look at Rin and make that comment.
Brim's mainly been leaning on his sword this whole time. He was ready to jump in the first instance, but has been waiting this whole time.
I'm ready to go if we all are.
All right. Well, I'm ready.
Before we move in, Rin's going to go ahead and cast Endure Elements on himself.
Nice.
But what stinks is I already used Sanctuary. I'd love it if I still had Sanctuary too, but oh well.
Whatever.
Additionally, I have a question for you, John.
Yes.
Not being able to see this, when we look into the portal, are we able to see like actual physical, like could I cast my spiritual weapon into the space?
You mean through the portal?
Yes.
You could try.
All right. So Rin's gonna say, let me try something first, and he's gonna go over and kind of into the tent and kind of peers in, looks into the portal. This is the portal he went down, right? Looking at Elandra.
Yeah, it's
okay. And he begins to move his hands, say some words, and he casts a spiritual weapon, and he'll cast it into the portal, trying to find, as best he can, some sort of landing for it to land in. The spiritual weapon is a mace. It's the favored weapon of Pelor, so it's a mace, and we'll see what our DM says.
All right, you cast your spell. You see the mace hit the portal. It shimmers and appears to shake for a moment. That fifth growth shrinks again immediately, but you do see the mace pass through to the other side, and it's floating.
All right, so the circle's getting smaller every time we send something through. So I'm going to make a suggestion. If we go through, we should all go together at once, because I have a fear that if we don't, it's going to continue to get smaller and somebody's going to be left behind.
We all fit through at the same time, or is Brim too big?
Yeah, you definitely see it's only about 4 feet wide now. Brim's going to have to hold his arms up to get through.
So it's probably best if Brim goes first, because if we go first and then Brim goes, he might get caught halfway through. Sorry, Brim, don't want that to happen to you.
Maybe biggest to smallest then?
Oh, Gimbal, I could hold on to you.
That's true.
That's
Hold
that's
above.
true.
Yeah, if we just like jump.
All right.
No.
All right, let's
I was gonna say we
Good
go
try.
like monkeys in a barrel.
All right. So you're all jumping through the portal. Brim is going first, and then in order after, I guess it's Rin, then Ilandra, then
With Phineas?
Phineas. Yeah, don't forget him. Lilith. Okay, so all right. As you each jump through, Brim, you first through, you all experience the same thing. You do notice as Brim drops through, the portal does not get any smaller. It was something either time-based or something associated with the arcane or the divine spell that you pushed through there, which created that additional constriction. As Brim drops through, Brim, you feel this enormous sense of disorientation. Your mind blurs. You see lights flashing. You hear a huge rush of wind in your ears, a sense of vertigo, your stomach lurches, and then whoo, you slam down, dust all around you. You try to focus, but you are disoriented even as this occurs. This happens to each of you as well. As you all drop through the portal, that's where we're going to go to our one and only break tonight. Now, as we do this, I want to mention we do have a giveaway tonight. We are giving away one of these gorgeous Mike Disney overgored prints. These are so beautiful. These are in hot demand. Everyone that's missed out has messaged me on Discord and said they were upset. So you can win this tonight. And Evelyn, since we've got some mod help, maybe you can go ahead and kick off the giveaway. Let's do exclamation point Disney. Exclamation point Disney.
Give me 1 second.
Give her a
to get it
second.
set up.
And
We'll let you know when I'm ready.
we will be we're going to go a little bit shorter tonight because we're missing Lilith, and I don't want to go too far without her. But we will be unleashing the brand new tool Tailspire. You'll see it for the first time here on Blue Box right after the break.
Disney?
Yes, Disney. So exclamation point Disney, just like Mike Disney, for the overgored print, and we'll give that away at the end of our session tonight. It will be, as I said, an abbreviated session, but you're not going to want to miss what's coming on after the break. Thanks to all of our players. Man, poor Squeaks. I didn't think you were going to do that to him, Gimbal. That was cruel. He loved you.
You know, it was a lot better than what Gimbal first wanted to do when that came.
Well, as Catherine pointed out, you know, there are hawks out there, so who knows if Squeaks will ever be seen again. I'll be upset after the artwork I commissioned from Mark Views, but it is what it is. We all suffer losses in the game of D&D. Blue Box will be right back. Don't miss it. Tailspire premiere on Blue Box coming up right after the break. And Rebellion RPG, Rebellion, thank you for the follow. I'm sorry I tried to call you out earlier. I missed it. The Chill Out Corner, thank you for the follow. We appreciate everyone that's given us a follow tonight. And I am pleased that my Alienware PC thus far is hanging strong with the beating that it's taken. No, we are not sponsored by Alienware. That would be nice, wouldn't it? But I'm just giving them a shout out because I am putting a load on this thing tonight. As I said earlier, I've got 5 4K cams running. I'm not even using all of them, but they're all plugged in tonight and running. And then I've got 4 4K monitors, plus this incredible Tailspire application. Thank you, Shanty TV. Shavni TV. I think I got that right. Something like that. You are now part of the Mad Chatters, the most exclusive group of chatters in all of Twitch D&D. And we're going to take a quick, let's call this a 5-minute break. I'm going to get the timer set up. We will leave our mics hot, as we always do here on Blue Box. So you can chat with our players as long as they can hang around on the break. If anyone needs to grab coffee or a glass of water, this is the time to do so. But you can chat with our players on break as well. All right. And let me set the timer for this. Should have had this.
Mics are so hot.
The
So
mics
hot
are
right now.
they are hot.
I burned myself.
The two of you are elves, correct?
Yeah.
Elves.
Half elves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Gimble just learned to not cast that spell on elves.
But
Yeah, because
it can't make you fall asleep. It can still stun you.
Yeah,
That's right.
but you're
But
I just had a
two out
very
of,
high.
well, I guess Lilith.
Lilith,
failed it.
she can't. It couldn't have put her to sleep,
No, yeah,
but
I
it
get
can
that part.
stun
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just have a very high will save, +9. So
right.
Yeah.
The assumption being made is, holy
Gotcha.
crap, these two elves had no effect. But then again, Lilith did get stunned by it. So I mean, there's,
Yeah.
you know,
But
in
she's
his
full
head,
elf,
he's.
you know.
Yeah. So it only works on half.
Well, and
elf.
she has a +7 will save. I
I know,
just rolled a
cool.
7.
Oh wow.
So yeah, you know, this kind of this, you know, maybe elves are tougher to do that with. I really should have I'm bummed that I didn't clarify. My goal was to have everyone facing away so that you see a bloody knife under the assumption.
Oh, is that what you were trying to do? Yeah. So you have to clarify, and always you can.
Yeah, and I didn't. I didn't.
And you can Discord me with that stuff too. So like, if I understand your intent, you can Discord me, and then we'll still have to role play it. It's not just going to be like I make everybody turn around arbitrarily. But if I know what you're trying
Turn
to
around.
do, yeah. All of you in the corner, put on this dunce hat.
Everyone turns slowly.
Suddenly, a loud call comes from the other side of the fort, and everyone looks to see what it is.
Spread them.
I have learned including DM in that stuff is helpful. There was a part of me that's like, this would be a nice surprise for John, and I just forgot to articulate.
No,
basically
and you could still
from-
surprise me. Like, so you don't have to tell me what your full intent is, but if you say, hey, I'm going to do something, I want to distract everybody in the party, I want them looking the other way, you could still keep things secret from me, but obviously if you don't articulate it and I don't know, then they're going to be looking where they're looking, and they were all pointed to look in that direction. So we'll be right back in 4 minutes. Type !Disney in the chat. I'm so excited! Hopefully I don't screw this up. We'll be right back.
I just can't hide it.
I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control and I think I like it. All right.
Woo! Yeah, so yeah, just as long as we don't go swimming, I'll be okay. Because
Did y'all?
let's just say I would drown.
Oh no.
With
What
my
is this?
my -2
Oh no.
You're -2 what?
This
in
way.
my skills. Yeah,
Oh, the
-2.
swim. Yeah, I've literally not put anything in swim, climb, or jump.
Climb's the other one that's not good.
Because it's like, even John was like at the beginning, he's like, maybe you should put some in there. I was like, I've got a +5 from the get-go.
Yeah, I only have a +1 to swim. Phineas has a
I'm-
+11.
I'm just ready to roll perception because this +12 is sitting here
Yeah, that wisdom.
and I can't do anything with it yet.
My perception is a +15.
Nice.
Why? Yeah.
Which makes sense. Rangers and,
Oh yeah.
tracking and stuff.
My perception's a +8.
Man,
My
most of my
perception
characters that I've played, their perception has always been terrible. So the fact that I actually have a character with good perception thrills the heck out of me.
Clerics can see for miles.
Rin, what do your half-elven eyes see?
So okay, so heal, right?
Yeah. Your heal
Yeah.
checks.
Yeah, if you heal me, if you do a heal check on me, I heal double. So that'd be
No,
great.
well, I was looking because that's good too to know about.
No, because
for,
my
like,
rapid
poison and
metabolism.
stuff.
Yeah.
Because I built that up a little bit. Maybe
Yeah.
it's a
So heal
+11.
checks are like normal, like basically first aid
okay.
type of checks. So anybody can do a heal check that might.
So when I run out of spells.
You can do heal checks. It
Yeah.
might not do much.
No,
But
could you please
I
do
have a
heal check?
healer's kit.
If you
So
I just read this a bit more. Could you please do a heal check on me? Because you might be able to heal me like just as much as I would get with one of your healing spells.
Really?
If you're attended successfully by someone with the heal skill, you instead regain double the normal amount of hit points from that heal check, as well as double my constitution bonus. So I automatically get 8 points back. Rapid metabolism is probably the best choice I made.
okay. Oh yeah.
That was the best choice
full
I made
description of
of feat.
Oh my goodness.
I chose that at first level. And it
First
has
aid, you can stop someone from bleeding.
it had aided me so much this whole time. And it
Long-term
also fit
care.
with Brim. It just made
Is it a
sense.
feat?
Yeah, it's a feat. Rapid
Oh.
metabolism,
Yeah.
incredible. But your con needs to be a base of 13 to have it.
Right.
Oh, no.
Gil was like, oh yeah! Wait, okay, maybe not.
I'll double check, but like 99%.
I could get that. I have a 14 for
Do
my
it.
con.
Do it. Rapid
Fine.
metabolism has been incredible. You regain double the amount of constitution bonus from every night that you sleep or rest up. And
Nice.
even if you don't sleep, you regain HP.
Poor
Yeah.
Carl.
Carl!
It doesn't make sense why it has to be a 13, right? Then you get a plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because mine's 0 right now. I got a 10.
Oh.
You know, from dying. You know,
Yeah,
and even then-
you know, from dying.
From Dell.
My favorite feat that I have on my Scald Paladin, Irda, she has one called Scald's Vigor that allows her to heal while she's raging every round, equivalent to her strength bonus while she's raging. Yeah. So as long as she maintains the rage, she gets 5 points of healing every
Uh-oh.
yeah.
So in 5e, they have the possibility to rage even beyond death. So do they have that in 3.5?
Not with the type of class she is. I don't know
Okay.
if like regular barbarians could do it, but Scalds, their rage is based on music that they're playing. So as soon as they go unconscious, the song stops.
It's like Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, seriously, that's exactly what I was thinking. That's amazing. And that's why we love John.
Hashtag.
Hashtag love John.
Hashtag Blue Box Con 2021.
Hashtag
Indeed.
BlueBoxCon 2021. Hashtag Killbrim.
I see John's lips moving, but I hear no sound.
I know.
He's like, oh.
It's kind of nice. We're staying alive.
Whoa!
No, it's this sexy shirt. It interferes with my microphone.
It's
No,
just too
it's
loud.
it's too loud. It's right. It's too loud.
He's gonna add it to the wardrobe.
No, that's not gonna happen. I promise. But
Every
no, it's,
time he throws it out, Short Mom on the Run, please add it back to his closet.
Oh,
like a
more.
Chucky toy.
It's like the
Like
one
every time
time
you get
the
rid
haunted
of
doll.
one,
Yeah,
it comes
it's like
back
a
with
rabbit,
me.
just like 14 more. No, Short Mom on the Run, please. You like next April Fool's Day, replace every single one of his shirts.
why are you all so evil? I don't understand.
Not all of us.
You act
Like
as
a
though
professional meeting, and like the only things in the closet is like a dinosaur
concepts.
onesies.
you act as though
Rory's
I've done
not
unkind
evil,
things
he
to
just
you.
sends glitter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he sends glitter at his allies as well as at the DM.
Gimble love. Gimble love. Shares it with all.
All right.
Those colorful stand at you.
Oh, was Sam. That's right. That's right. What was original glitter?
Welcome back. We are ready to go here at Blue Box, and thanks for staying with us. And I'm sorry for this obnoxious shirt. This is my punishment. Do type
It's not a punishment. It's a celebration.
It's a celebration.
It doesn't
Yeah,
feel
it's
like
a
a celebration. It feels like a humiliation. So humiliation time. All right. So with the Mike Disney giveaway is tonight. This beautiful Overgore type exclamation point Disney. Josh, cover your mouth, or Terry, cover your mouth when you yawn, please. And we're going to go ahead and get started. As we resume, you all drop through the portal. And as you drop through the portal, I'm going to switch. So take a look at your screen here. I'll tell you what you see. But before I tell you what you see, I want to just show you this so we can quickly understand the user interface. So here on this screen, I'm going to hit a key here. So this Brim, this is your mini for now. The minis The minis are still growing all the time. This is I thought the closest, and man, you look good, my friend.
Yeah, look good. Conan the freaking barbarian over
all right.
here. Yeah.
Rin, we didn't have a perfect mini for you, but I like this one because it does have it has the white hair. It's clearly an elf. You're pale aqua, obviously, but that's the closest mini I could find. Here is Gimbal. We have our little gnome. Back here we have Elandra, which I think this is a great mini for Elandra, nicely matched to her. We have Phineas here. He is the goodest boy, which is why I have him turned sideways, because when you look at that, he does not look like the goodest boy from that angle. So we're turning him for now, just because that is the closest mini. And then we have Lilith here. So you are seeing Tailspire for the first time here on Blue Box. This is the first virtual tabletop system that I have felt like meets the standard that I want to have for the visuals, for the immersion, that actually adds something to the game and makes it fun. So with that said, let me describe for you what you see. As you drop through the portal, to describe this landscape as alien would be the height of understatement. As you look around, it is with disbelief. You see this red rock, dusty outcroppings everywhere. There are stony pillars scattered all around the terrain and the hillsides. But as you look more closely, you see these are not just pillars. Some of them are so worn and eroded by time and wind and elements as to be unrecognizable. But many others are clearly identifiable as humanoids, some as small as goblins, others the size of humans, some the size of ogres. They are frozen in macabre scenes of stone. It is a forest indeed, but not a forest of trees. It is a forest of frozen pillars all around that once lived. You do note, even as you look, some of them seem quite recent indeed, very, very vivid. And yet this is not all that catches your eye. You see no sign of call. What you do see, though, are footprints everywhere. It looks like there has been a constant traverse of travel through this area. You see a severed piece of rope lying on the ground. There is, in fact, a dimming campfire here, and there are the bodies of 3 or 4 orcs that lay around. And I don't have bodies yet in Tailspire. I know we'll have those later, so I don't have the dead bodies, but they're there. So there are orc bodies, severed, limbs cut off. There's also one massive hand that lays in the soil, much bigger than an orc or an ogre, freshly cut, and there is no sign of call. All of you drop through the portal. There is a wind that blows here. You see the tortured faces in these pillars, these statues all around you. Trunks, if you will, but not trunks. Living creatures frozen in stone. The ground nearby is littered not just with these fresh bodies, but with bones.
John, would I recognize this place as being otherworldly?
Good question. So, go ahead and roll a d20 for me, please, and add your knowledge planes.
And I'm gonna roll with advantage.
And if you can't speak up, you sound real quiet there.
Is that any better there?
Yeah, that's much better.
All right, sorry. I'm gonna roll with advantage. And you said knowledge planes.
I'm gonna have you roll 2. You're gonna do knowledge planes, and then you're gonna do knowledge geography.
All right, knowledge planes is a 16. And knowledge geography is a 5.
You are confident this is still in the Flanness on Orth, but you have no knowledge of this area. I'll allow each of you also to make a knowledge geography check.
Advantage.
God, I hope you guys have better knowledge than me.
And John, I sent you a text, by the way.
Okay, thank you.
That's a 16 for me.
That's a 19 for me.
A 22 for me, and I'm not sure if I recognize the
I'll do
stone.
it myself.
Let me roll for Lilith as well, real quick.
Using 12
I
of her
know.
advantages.
She has lots, so it's okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
Geography.
22 for you.
Oh, she got a 19 on the dice, so that's a 21 for Lilith.
Okay.
All right, everybody knows but me. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you, Catherine. We appreciate that, Kigya. So I'm noticing, and it's an interesting. So I think the choppiness. We had a bit of choppiness here. As I said, we're going to have some technical things we're going to be working through here. I am taxing this system to the max, but it looks like when I click back onto slobs, I'm seeing all the choppiness appears to be gone. Is that consistent with what everyone else is seeing? It looks good to me here. Okay, so I just have to be aware of that. You may see a brief bit of chop when I'm moving things around on the Tailspire app, and I am running that in 4K. I could drop that down, and they're also continuously enhancing the app. So this is a bit of fun sort of beta stuff that we're testing. The app, as I said, is in beta, but let me direct your attention as I describe what you know. As you look around the landscape, you see, in fact, these pillars, these humanoid forms surround you. The scene is disturbing, haunting at best. The sun hangs low on the horizon, barely casting its amber glow through the atmosphere. And the firelight continues to dwindle as this was clearly this was a crude fire. This was not a fire of call. This was a fire of whatever orcish creatures were here when he dropped in among them.
With the roll, do we know where
But
we're at?
about the geography.
Yeah, sorry. So I meant to say that. So you recall the words of Call as he had spoken to you about a place called the Twisted Forest. A forest which was not a forest. Here in the Pomarge, the site of some sort of ancient atrocity on the Flyness. And you now recognize, you'd heard rumors, lost in antiquity, the cause. Something about the greed of men, or perhaps, you had a 21, right, Alondra? If I remember?
Lilith had a 21.
Oh, Lilith had
I had a
22.
19.
Okay, you had it. Okay, so Gimbal, with your 22, then, you recall studying something about some powerful, ancient, either divine or diabolic or unknown creature that wished to be awakened beneath these sands and rocks, that was somehow the cause of this atrocity. But it's all legend, it's lore, it's ancient.
Wished or wishes? Like the legend says that this creature wishes to be set free, or wished as in it already happened?
So in seeking to be, it seeks to be awakened.
Okay. And I relay that.
Yeah, so this place, I think it looks like a couple of you might recognize it. The Twisted Forest. I've read something about a creature that is seeking to be set free. It's kind of a bit of a stretch, a little bit of a legend, but there's definitely writings about something that is not, look around, not word if it's real. Or at least whoever's following it definitely have a very bad understanding if it is real, so I'm going to say it's probably not.
Rin's gonna walk over to one of the frozen statue people, please.
Okay. All right, there's one nearby here, and you can see this on the screen. Rin, you walk over. As you inspect this one, it looks like it is actually not like many of the others. This one appears to be human of some kind, with an ancient style of armor you don't recognize.
I'm gonna cast Detect Magic on it.
As you concentrate on your Detect Magic, you don't feel a particular concentration here, but you sense almost a lattice work, as it were a quilt or a thread of crochet across the entire landscape, which resonates with a dim arcane enchantment.
So, this area, it's magical. It's magical in some way. There is, I don't know, it permeates the land here. It's arcane in nature. But I don't get a sense, and tell me if I'm wrong on this, John. I don't get a sense of anything specific to these these statues, these beings. But something is happening in this area.
It's interesting.
No, that's all. Everything he said is accurate.
While they're talking a little bit, Alondra's kind of started looking around the campsite to see if she can distinguish Call's footsteps from those of the orcs. And she also kind of leans down to Phineas, because he had been near Call at a couple of points, and says, Phineas, see if you can distinguish Call's scent from these other bodies, to see if we can figure out maybe what's happened to him.
You notice Phineas seems distracted as you're talking to him. You were focused on Rin. The landscape around you was highly absorbing. As you turn to Phineas, you notice he has a low growl. He's turned. He's looking off to the north, which would be. I'll kind of turn him in that direction so you can see the direction that he's looking in on your screen. He's looking off in that direction. I hope that's north. It should be north. Anyway, and as he does so, there's a low growl in his throat. And then you hear a voice. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, hearing that, she's gonna look and say, what's wrong? Do you see something? And she'll kind of look off in that direction and see if she can see what's caught his attention.
All right, so you peer off in that direction, looking the same way that he was. And yes, I know we're probably seeing some choppiness when I'm doing this with the, but I notice it's cleared up as soon as I click back to below. So we'll just deal with this tonight, and we'll figure this out later. But I think it's still really cool the way this is working. So thank you everyone for being patient with us. As you're looking off in the direction, you hear a voice coming from your right. So not from the north, from the east. Mm-hmm. There is no need to look for me. I am here. And you hear the voice of Call.
Brim's taking a deep breath. Brim's gonna get a good smell of the air. He doesn't have to trust anything or anyone right now.
All right. So Brim, even as you see Call appears at the top of this ridge, you see he's covered in blood. And yes, I'm letting you all see the menu here. Call is covered in blood, and it looks like he's taken a heavy cut to the side. You do smell the sickly, sweet, necrotic scent in the air, Brim.
So, Rin notices the injury on Call. Mr. Call, are you okay?
Nope, get back!
And Brim's gonna pull the blade. Well, he already had it out.
What's...
It's another paling. Get ready.
Wait, what's okay? Huh?
Gimble, use magic. My blade will do nothing.
Elandra, is something wrong with him?
He's gonna look back towards the two, serious face.
If you have magic, use it now.
Bow's out.
Where is my spirit?
Oh yes. I'm sorry. I should have had that up. Hang on here. So everybody,
Also, Brim would have liked to have jumped towards the front of the group.
It's okay. It's a little different session than we normally have here. I'm showing you some live stuff here because we're still playing with it. But look at this. It's not a mace, but how slick is that? So your spiritual weapon is in fact there. Call approaches. Stop! I am who I say I am. I am your friend.
Brave, brother, call.
All right, so he's still, you can see on the map here, he's still several feet away. He's a good, and I'm not gonna, so there is a measurement system here too. I'm sorry guys, I'm geeking out on the tech here, but this won't be the normal, I'm not gonna make this distracting on our stream, but I think it's really cool. So you've got like things like this where you can do area of effect spells, which appear. And then you also can do like normal measurements, distances, and I still don't know what I'm doing. But we're going to say he's a good 25 feet away.
Grim, wait. Call if you are, then show us. You know what I mean. Or lose your head. Your choice. He'll take it. I've seen it.
He pulls out, he holds it up, and he says, "I see what you seek. There were orcs here. I was hard pressed." He leans over. You see there's blood streaming out of his side. "I had them. Then there was a monstrous creature with 2 heads. I fought against the back of this pillar, and I was... His hand is there." He points at that giant hand you see in the sand. And then he says, "But then a creature that it was like nothing I've seen. Its skin the color of death, and the stench still hangs in the air. It came at me. It was all I could do. I had to flee from it. It passed to the north."
And
What has he pulled out of his pocket?
He pulls out the medallion.
Mr. Call, what's that?
All right, OOC, this is the DM forgot what Gimbal gave him, so that's what I thought. I was like, I'm not sure. It's my shirt of shame.
Let's kill him.
It's my.
This is the wrong thing.
It's my.
Lilith gave him teeth.
AK
Oh, the teeth. That's right. Okay. Okay. Well, then so Gimbal shouldn't have asked. If Lilith would have asked, I would have remembered.
Gimbal was there at the moment. Lilith and Gimbal were.
All right.
there, yeah.
So he moves forward here. He steps onto the soil nearby, and he holds up in his hand, yes, the teeth. Lilith, I remember what you gave me, and now I see the wisdom of this. The creature, I saw it. It seemed to change forms. It morphed before my very eyes. It was the most demonic thing I have ever seen.
Lilith's gonna kind of walk up behind Brim, very close, because no personal space. But she's gonna say, you might want to just give him another smell test up close, just in case.
And Brim's he's gonna move up and just kind of like do the Yaj Call style and just go around him like a Phineas.
All right, so as you move up toward, I love being able to do this on the screen. This is awesome. As you move up toward him, and you start walking around him, you're sniffing heavily. You see he puts his hands to his scimitars, having tucked the teeth back in his pocket, but he makes no move to pull them, and he gives you the oddest look as you walk around him. And I'm going to roll for you. You sense there is this sickly sweet necrotic smell that you have smelled before, but it is fading. It is residual on his form.
So Rin's gonna look at Brim. Brim, can I attend to him?
Go for
He walks away, like, not like hits Call on the back, but kind of like taps him on the back.
it. Had to be sure.
So why are we sniffing the man with the scimitars?
Bring a more sensitive nose. The one he speaks of, the called palings. They smell like death, to be honest. And you can tell when it's not someone by their smell, and only if you've set up a predefined word or action to be done.
Do you have anything that smells like that? Phineas could help track that smell
Gumbo,
if he can smell it.
do you still have the piece of kluk?
Well, actually, Brim, brother. So if we find another one of those nasty palings, that would be helpful because that potion I gave you to turn you into the giant?
Yeah.
I kind of used the paling blood to do that.
And like he's gonna like go over to a tree and just start like dry heaving.
What? You gave me...
Okay, so what's the deal with these palings? They can
Okay,
change
so-
into.
Yeah, so Carl, did it attack you? Did you get hurt by the paling? By the thing that changed shapes?
The creature which you call a paling, I think this is exactly the correct way to describe it. It seemed not to be so interested in me. Its attention was focused to the north. It was these other creatures which they came at me with great fervor and force. They are
It
off.
never touched you.
You see, he thinks a moment. No, when my blade leaked out, I caught it. It laughed, and then as it turned sideways, it vanished. I saw a thin line, and then the creature was simply there, and then not there.
On. Yes. Yeah, these things are very elusive. So a couple of things to know: they're sightless. They're not affected by many spells that have to do with sight. They can turn on an edge, like you've explained, Cole. They'll mock you, standing there mocking you as you try to swing regular benign blades at it. Magical weapons are extremely useful, and I believe Brim actually used something that weakened it quite a bit. They will sit there and mock you for all time, but anything, and this is what I've especially figured out making that potion for that you use, Brim. Anything that it grabs, skin or blood or hair, it can turn into. So if it attacked you and got your flesh, or if it disguised itself as, say, a creature that attacked you, it can turn into you. And it's very deceiving.
Well, that's just horrifying.
And I believe this is what was being hinted to about what Hollia is trying to create or enhance, is something of this nature.
Carl looks at you. His visage increases in sense of horror. This is beyond any evil I could have imagined. No, the creature did not touch me, but yes, my blood stains the soil all around. I took many wounds from the orcs, and the large creature, I barely survived. He coughs up blood. It was...
And Rin rushes to him and starts to check on the wounds.
All right, so Rin, as you rush over toward him, you do note, again, your spiritual weapon kind of floats around as though looking for an enemy. It twitches. There continues to be the low growl in Phineas's throat. But as you walk toward Rin, you walk toward Call, you see he has taken quite a few heavy wounds.
Mr. Call, would it be okay to heal you a bit? You look like you've taken a bit of damage.
Why do you make her laugh? Of course, I will take her healing. What kind of question is this, my friend?
All right. And so Rin will cast Cure Moderate Wounds on our friend Call here. And he'll take... He'll take 8 points of healing.
8 points of healing.
Roll, yeah.
Okay.
And
All
then
right.
he'll look again. Hold on, I can do one better. He'll cast his
You
second
see some of his wounds are healed, but there's definitely still some heavy gashes. He looks up with a note of slight disappointment in his face.
And so the second one is considerably better, 16 points.
All right, what was the second one? I'm sorry.
16, so a
16.
total of 24.
Oh, okay. All right. Yes. With the second blessing of Pelor on Call, you see the major wounds are healed. They cinch up. The blood staunches. His breathing grows more steady. Now, you're stronger than any of the shamans of my tribe. This Pelor, Yosu, he is powerful.
Indeed, It is with him and through him that I learned my training in Hardby, how to heal both with magical means as well as with non-magical means when necessary. He can also be quite powerful in a fight when needed, though that is not necessarily the route I went. But yes, he's done well for me, and I look to do well for him.
Lilith, during back when Bryn was kind of trying to spit the taste out of his mouth from realizing he had
Right.
tasted failing blood, she actually reached into the Millie pocket and pulled out the flask that Millie had left for her, and kind of held it up to Brim and said, "I know you don't really usually drink this, but it might help with the taste in your mouth."
He looks, he's kind of just smiling but also still scoffing in a way, just and we'll look over to the flask and just kind of,
No, it's fine.
All right, well,
I can save that for another time.
and she'll tuck it away, but
Call
Brim,
looks over.
if-
If you do not mind, I would not mind the drink of this. This draught seems much like the kind I have known.
I'm sorry, but I can't. Just for friends. It's someone important. I can't.
I understand.
But she will. She notices that Brim's still fairly wounded from the previous fight, and she will lay a hand on him and cast Cure Moderate Wounds.
holy crap. Okay. Yeah, let's just get rid of all Lilith's spells. Just
All right.
all of us.
And what is the duration on your magical weapon?
It's probably gone now. It's 5 rounds.
5 rounds, yeah. So 30 seconds, it's definitely gone. So you see the mace, which was floating in midair with this beautiful amber light, it just vanishes.
So she healed Brim for 12 points.
12 points, nice.
So Rin sees Lilith did that, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time Rin's seen Lilith heal. Is that correct?
She healed Brim during the fight against the orcs as well. She did a cure light wounds against them.
Okay. So, but that was okay. We were
During the fight, yeah.
During the fight. So, Rin's gonna kind of walk over to Lilith and say, do you follow Palor's way as well?
No, I just like to help my friends sometimes. It's not really any particular way. It's just something that I've learned from as a druid from my tribe.
And Rin's gonna pull his notebook out, just sketch a couple notes more about Lilith, and slide it back to his waist. Then he's gonna look back over at Brent. Brim, sir, are you all right now? Do you need? Are you still injured at all? Can I take care of you? This place doesn't look very safe.
Ren, maybe when we rest, sure. But right now, I'm worried about what's got Phineas's hair in a tussle. But we need to make sure we're in a safe place. Alright?
Okay.
At the mention of his name, Phineas turns with not quite so nasty a visage as you see here, but he does turn. The growl has dropped from his voice, and Call says, "He smells the creatures. Not the pale one you speak of. He is gone, but I can still. They're lurking out there somewhere. The large ones with 2 heads. But perhaps we can rest. I think we all need rest."
Yeah, I would agree. That's why I was advising it before we went jumping through the hole in the ground.
Was that before you sent me through the hole in the ground?
You volunteered, man. Like,
I believe I was asked to.
no, you
I'll have-
volunteered.
And Rin will look at him because he knows. And I'm impressed. You managed to take care of so many beasts. That's amazing.
3 orcs? This is nothing. I barely escaped with my life.
But you are alive.
Well, yes, I suppose I am. Thank you, my friend.
Palor has looked down on you.
Perhaps he has. This payloader speak of, he was in fact potent in healing, and I am always grateful for that. These wounds, if left unattended, they can become very, very dangerous.
While this is taking place, Gimbal, at the mention, when Rin had first mentioned the arcane essence in the area, pretty much from that point would be, and making the comment, of course, to Grim, but bending down and checking the dirt. Do I recognize the type of stones, the dirt in this area?
Good question. So, make a knowledge geography check, please.
That is a knowledge geography, gives me an 18.
Okay. So yes, you see sandstone. You see there are several outcroppings of unnatural stone, perhaps pumice, almost volcanic in nature in some places. Other places where the stone was melted like slag and then rejoined, and over it all a heavy dust that covers.
Bram, can I get that empty bottle back from you?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. I hope I didn't upset your stomach too much.
We're good. I just won't. Just don't tell me in the future.
Well, I won't.
Right?
And I uncork it and put just a little bit of sand in there, shake it up, dump it out, any kind of residue that might be left, and then fill it up with the sand or the dirt in the area.
Okay. All right. So you have more sand. You seem to be collecting sand.
3 vials of sand now.
and the firelight continues to dwindle. Whatever was created here is beginning to go away. Call, recently healed, he steps closer to the fire. I do not like this place. It feels of death and evil.
I agree.
Landra, would you be willing to do a scope of the area?
Of course.
If we are gonna rest, I'd like to find a good, safe place. Defensible, but also far from any enemy in the area.
Alright. That seems wise. I'll take Phineas and we can look around, find something that might have some cover.
And before you go, he kind of reaches out in your direction.
Also, Rin, Cole, and Elandra. Here at the Wayward Bull, we have a bit of a phrase that if something goes wrong, we say Panther. We'll know that something's wrong, and you're in trouble will come.
Alright.
Panther. What is
Oh,
what
God.
what? Oh, sorry, Call says. What is Panther?
It's a creature, a four-legged feline. It hunts within jungles. It is usually, I think, a predator. Not sure if it's an omnivore or a carnivore. Never learned that part.
He looks at you. You say strange words. I bury my. Where were you taught these things? You never stop surprising me.
My father.
He grows somber when you say this. This Father Aaron that was spoken of.
Yep. We're dealing with someone real not fun if they're able to capture him. You see me and you're impressed.
And Brim starts to kind of get once again more somber.
Father Aaron, even now, would throw me on my back in an instant.
I would like to meet this Father Aaron. Anyone that could throw you on your back that quickly, he must be a large man indeed.
He's huge in my eyes.
We will meet him, my friend.
So, Alondra is gonna take Phineas and she's gonna kind of scout around the area, not going too far.
Before that happens, before you fully leave, Rin's gonna run up next to you. Okay?
All right, so as you get next to Phineas, Elandra, and you go next to the goodest boy, he's still quite concerned about what's out there, but he's no longer growling. The two of you are standing there by the edge of the firelight, looking out on the just bizarre landscape. Some natural pillars of rock, others heavily weathered, frozen visages of stone death all around you, and you hear Rin come up behind you.
And I want to grab her, like, as she's a little further away from everyone, so we'd be a little bit off.
Okay.
But not like out of line of sight or anything.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna kind of grab her by the shoulder, and very low whisper, looking over his shoulder, looking back to her. Do you think it's safe if I stay here with these ones? I mean, the little one has done some strange things, and Mr. Call's been here a little bit, a little bizarre, and the druid. She's been quiet. And the big guy, he was ready to cut Call's head off. Do you think it's okay for me to stay here?
Are you asking to come with me? Because you're welcome to join me.
He's gonna look around. All right, good point. Yep, safe to stay here. I'll see you soon. He's gonna turn back and walk back over to the fire.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Well played, Terry. Well played. All right. So Rin walks back toward the fireside. All right. So we have you here, Elandra. You and Phineas are alone. You can see the sun again setting off to the east. You have heard Call already tell you, but you know well enough just by your own eyes that there are trails heading off to the north. You see footprints all around. Which direction do you go?
So what I want to do is kind of make a complete like circuit around the party, so that I can go far enough away from them to kind of look at the landscape, but be able to keep them in my eye line if something were to happen.
All right, fair enough. So again, which direction first?
I guess.
To your right is
west.
east. Okay, west.
West-ish.
Okay,
and then
west.
continue in a counterclockwise circle.
Okay, all right. So you all see with a remarkable level of silence, Elandra and Phineas begin padding off to the left, which is toward the west, leaving the rest of you behind.
Rin's gonna walk over to Brim and look up to him. So, what do we do next?
Wait.
What about after that?
After that, as a group, we'll talk about what we do moving forward. We'll most likely follow the rest of the group. What? Why are you asking me?
Like looking over to Gimbal, just up to Call.
You see Gimbal with just a big grin on his face, just
Gimbal.
enjoying this.
I've just been very used to talking to the leader to find out things, and you most obviously are the leader of this group, and so I was just curious. I mean, if you look at the little one, I don't think he could lead this group, and
Right, I'm right here.
I apologize, Mr. Gimbal. He sprayed us with color, and though I do enjoy colors from time to time, I'm not sure it was the most useful way of going about things while we were there. And then Lilith, yes, she collects things, which I think is fascinating. And the tooth that she gave to Call was worrisome, but again, I don't necessarily see her leadership capabilities, and so I just figured you, being the big one with the big weapon, who very obviously in battle that I saw was able to completely dismantle those beasts that we fought. I just figured you knew the right things to do.
Brim's face this whole time has changed from one of confusion, disbelief, confusion again, but then one of just deepened thought. And then once the monologue ends, he looks back down.
I would not say that I'm the leader. I'm maybe the head of the group, but the head can't do anything on its own. It needs arms and legs and the heart. We lost our shield and our smile. But we've gotten new parts of the group. That's where we're both. So sure, I'm the head of this party. But I do not do anything without the rest of the party agreeing. Because we move together or we don't move at all. Oh, shut up.
All right, that sounds good then.
Good.
And after you, as you were finishing that up, you noticed that he had pulled his book, and as you were talking, he was writing.
Look, he's got a book. Look at that.
His senior superlative.
That was lucky. All right, so as you're having this conversation, Gimbal, are you doing anything else other than heckling Brim?
Yeah, a little bit of heckling Brim, definitely doing that. Also, just if I remember right, the items I picked up off of the mage back at the fort.
Yes.
One of the items was a sword,
Correct.
and I forget.
It was a
if you
great. It was a
mentioned-
great sword with
Yep.
a solid black blade.
Yep. Was there? Because I knew the cape was magical.
The cape was
ring
rent and
magical.
severed. Yes. When you
But the-
detected magic, yes. So it has a strong magic on it.
It does. Okay.
It does.
So during that time, between looking up and hackling Brim every now and then, I will I'll reach into the pouch and pull out a owl feather as I brush the kind of pulling the feather slowly through my fingers as I feel each individual part of that owl feather. And then I'll lay it down on top of that sword and utter some gnomish arcane words as my hands begin to move along the length of the blade and then down to the pommel of the sword and can't identify.
All right. As you do this, I love that, but you know I don't let you get away with some gnomish arcane words. Let's hear your gnomish arcane words, sir.
I don't have my page up. So, I as I move my hands from side to side, I'll just. Okay, sure. First thing came to my mind, right? A little bit of a movie reference in my mind. So, bada boom, show me what's inside of you.
I guess that's what I get for asking, right?
I don't have my. I do have a list of phrases. I don't have.
That's not. No, that's fine. I'm teasing you. All right. So as you're casting, you do feel you're teasing out the secrets of whatever power lays within this ebony blade. And as you're doing this, we're going to go back to Alondra.
Sorry, Josh, this is killing me.
And Tissa.
Anticipation. All right, so Alondra, as you can see on the screen there, you know the moons are high, or pardon me, the moons are low on either side of the sky, so they cast an illumination, but it's not very strong. It is really, really disturbing as you move between these frozen pillars. Phineas continues to have that low growl in the back of his throat. His head pivots to and fro, and he snarls occasionally.
That doesn't seem good. So he's kind of sensing this, whatever it is, kind of as we're going everywhere, seemingly.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, there is no direction that's associated with his disturbance. His head is pivoting in all directions.
All right. So we'll just keep we're looking for whatever cover we can find. So something that is sheltered and defensible potentially, so that we can rest.
All right. You move between what looks like a natural stone pillar that goes a good 12 feet high in the air, and also what looks like an ogre, frozen, heavily weathered. As you do this, you hear the growl grow in Phineas' throat, and you see the hackles rise up on his neck.
Okay, she's gonna stop, and she's gonna back up away from whatever he's reacting to. Phineas, I think we need to go back. This doesn't seem right. And she's going to back toward the party with keeping Phineas next to her.
All right, go ahead and make a perception check for me, please.
All right, I'm gonna do this at advantage. Okay, that's a perception 27.
Yeah, not not hard. You look off toward the north, and if you'll direct your attention toward the screen, you see a hideous-looking creature. It's trying to be stealthy, but it's awkward and lumbering in its movements. A pair of heads. You feel the ground shake with its steps, even as it tries to be silent. But based on your roll of 27, you see off in the distance a second creature of the same kind, coming even further directly from the north. And I know you're probably seeing some freezing on the cams. Everybody, don't worry about that. We'll get that all worked out. That's just the way we're running this tonight with the 4K resolution. These creatures are moving in.
Okay.
They don't. They clearly don't know you've spotted them.
Okay, so she is going to stealth back with Phineas to the rest of the party right now.
I like the way you say "with Phineas," as though like I just this is such a traumatized party. It's like I am not leaving my familiar behind. All right, all of you, you see. You don't see any of what I just described to her yet, but you see Elandra come moving back to you quickly. There's an urgency, and she's padding along silently.
And she's going to get as close to the others as she possibly can and to stay as quiet as she can. There are creatures with two heads. There's two of them, and they're coming this way right now.
Do they seem friendly?
Call, does this sound like the creature you encountered before?
You speak of two heads?
Yes.
These are exactly that hand there. It was taken from one of them. They are vicious, vile, feral creatures.
So not friendly. Got it.
And they're coming in our direction.
Yes, right towards us right now. And you'll notice that this entire time, while all of these various things were happening, Lilith has been searching around the fire, like all these bodies are here. She's been searching for trinkets because she wants stuff. She's looking for something in her pocket.
Of course she has.
They're like pulling teeth.
So we will discuss what our own Lilith has found, because she did find some things. But for the moment, even as Elandra says this, you all now hear the distant footsteps, the attempt to be stealthy, pitifully obnoxious, and you can barely make out in the dim light of the twin moons of Orth. There are massive creatures converging on your location.
Yeah.
Yes.
What did I find out from the sword?
As you were identifying the blade, I'm going to have you we're going to do an initiative check here. This is going to determine whether or not you finished your identification prior to the actual combat taking place. Because as you know, I don't do identification in 6 seconds. It takes a little while to do your identification. So if you win initiative, then I'll tell you what it was, and you guys will have initiative. If you lose initiative, then you were interrupted, or if you wish to, you can continue to try to identify as these creatures descend upon you. It's your choice.
So, I'll roll. I'm up for this. But how long? So, does Gimbal understand, or does it kind of vary? Does Gimbal understand how long it takes to jump?
He does, but Gimbal, what he knows is it varies. Sometimes it's easier to tease the magics out of the item than other times. Sometimes they surrender their secrets willingly. Other times it requires more concentration and effort. So it's not a set amount of time. You don't know it's 6 seconds or 20 seconds or 3 minutes.
Okay.
DM has a 3.
Please.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell by his noise.
As these monstrosities descend, your eyes shoot up brim. You see them coming. They are hideous in nature. In fact, let me zoom in on one. You can see now. Look how cool these models are, though. The detail is insane. So
I love that the
Insane.
ground moves when you place them.
yeah, exactly. So these creatures that are descending on the camp, but Gimbal, still seemingly unaware, the gnome shouts out, and so you can shout out whatever you want, but you know it's powerful. It is a +2 blade that is keen against undead, meaning it expands your critical threat range against undead.
Nice.
Wow.
You know the blade has a name, but you did not have time to tease that out. Now, if you want to spend some more time, on it, you might find out more. But that's what you got from it this far. So I'll go back to you. Go ahead, Gimbal.
Okay. So as soon as this starts to come to my awareness and I can tell that there's something else in there, I'll immediately shoot my eyes up towards Brim, as my mocking of him has probably understood that he did, watching me handle this very big blade. So my eyes will shoot up to Brim and go, Brim! Oh, it's good, but I need a little bit more time, and it's all yours.
Okay.
And they haven't spotted us yet, or they have?
Oh no, they have. So now, as this is all happening, now we're in combat. So they're accelerating. This is a combat round. I just let that role play happen because you won the combat. So Gimbal, it's so heavy. He would like to have tossed it to you. It really just sort of falls out of his hands to your feet.
Well, I didn't give it to him, so
Oh, okay,
I pulled
so
it
you-
out of the sack, I cast the spell, but I let Brim know that all intents and purposes, this is all his, but I have a little bit more to figure out about it. So
Okay.
I'm continuing.
So you're not giving it to him yet then?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Okay, all right. Then we go to initiative. And so we're going to begin with you, Elandra, because you saw these creatures first. There are two exactly as you see on your screen, both coming from the north. You see one of them is missing a hand. It's bandaged. It holds a massive club. These twin heads. They mutter to each other as the creatures walk forward.
We're going to eat them. Well, of course we are. We wanted. Oh, I smell the air fresh.
And they lumber forward. Elandra, what are you doing?
Arrow. All I
Okay.
can do.
All right. So Elandra, go ahead and roll to hit.
I will
see how I
roll
feel.
this at
This is her-
advantage.
Every gosh dang.
All right. So you're going for the one on the left, which is closer to you, or the one in the middle, which is closer to the
I'm-
gnome?
Closer to who?
All right. So here, I'll highlight these for you. So when you look on the screen, this one here is closer to Gimbal, right? He's coming directly from the north. Then there's one here, which is
to
closer to
Phineas?
you. Yeah, he's closer to Phineas as well. So
Yeah, I'm going for that one.
okay, all right.
It's fine.
Okay.
He'll be fine. He's a
So-
wolf.
That's a. What is that? 20, dirty 20 to hit.
Yeah, so your range attack, yeah, that's it's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
All right, so thunk, your arrow hits, but the hide is thick. You see it doesn't
Right.
penetrate.
Well-
It's go ahead.
Then Phineas is going to charge forward and take his bite attacks.
All right, Phineas engages, snarling. The wolf launches himself into the massive creature.
First bite is a 21 to hit. And second bite is a 19 to hit. That one this is, I'm sure. I don't know about the 21.
Yeah, so bow tie. So Phineas leaps up. The creature is tall. It has heavy leather wrappings with rope around its legs, exactly as you see in the image here. As Phineas leaps up, he grabs a piece of rope. He tries to get to flesh, but he's not penetrating through that thick hide. Now we're going to go to Rin.
Rin or Brim?
Rin, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Why'd you guys get such similar names?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Don't worry, you can call me Autumn Crest. So Rin is going to see them. He's going to see what was not able to be done by Alondra, and he's going to look at Brim, and he's going to cast Guidance on Brim.
Okay.
This will give you +1 on attack roll.
Oh, all right.
Very nice. Good use of that spell. I like that. And so, Brim, you feel some additional sense of guidance and divine power. Pelor touches you. It's not erroneous, but you do sense the divine and good power coming from Pelor.
And while Rin's casting that, he'll be yelling, Pelor guides you, Brim.
Ironious and Zordal too, but yeah, that's fine.
All right. Let's go to Brim.
All right. And you said the one at the far back is the one that's heading like straight for Gimbal?
Correct.
Okay, that's the one I'm going to head for then. With my normal great sword, my normal +1. It's gonna run at him.
Yeah, that's not too far. That's about 10 feet of distance. You're able to close that. So you close in on the creature, and I'm going to let you make an attack roll. Go ahead.
Wonderful. With advantage. Natural 18, natural 19, and that's going to be +14. So
yeah, that's a hit. That's a solid hit. You have a second attack now, correct?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead and roll your second attack.
Should I just go ahead and roll that as well?
Go ahead and roll your second attack, and then we'll do damage.
With advantage. And that one's going to be a like 28 to hit.
Those are both hits, my friend. Roll damage.
All right, and rolling damage, and because they are, I'm going to assume bigger than me.
They are definitely bigger than you.
I mean, you don't have to rub it in.
Brim
There it is.
pulls back his blade in defense of his diminutive friend Gimbal. He leaps into the fray, pulls his blade back in the dim light of the twin moons of Orth, and
15 for the first one, and 14 for the second one.
all right, heavy damage. 2 twin blows. The first one slices across thigh, opens it up. Gray flesh splits, blood spurts out. You come across a second time. You catch it in the belly. The belly fat is thick. You see white fat open underneath your second blow of the blade. The creature grunts a guttural roar. And now we go to Gimbal.
Brim is also going to yell out in giant.
Run!
Trying this again.
Okay, all right. Go ahead and make an intimidation check for me.
Using advantage for this as well. That is going to be intimidation, so that is going to be a 19.
A 19 total?
Yes.
Okay.
Sadly.
I'll tell you what happens with that in just a moment. Let's go to Gimbal.
Thank you.
Continuing to this point, still, do I pull anything else about the name or anything
Oh,
else
so
about
you're
the
staying
sword?
focused on the blade? Oh, okay, because this is all the same round. So, okay, then you're still hovered over the firelight with this blade in your lap. That's awesome. I love it. What a Gimbal thing to do. That's fantastic. Thank you, Wastelander 18. By the way, anybody that hasn't yet, we're going to be done here in just a bit. Go ahead and type !Disney in the chat. You'll be eligible for our giveaway tonight, this gorgeous Mike Disney overgored print. And we have a couple fun things we'll do here before that as well. And then, so Call, you see Call. Sorry, go ahead.
So I gotta ask this because I gotta weasel every little piece that I can get out.
Okay.
The first time that he identified that, was that prior to combat or post initiative?
So it was sort of, again, it was that simultaneous action. So as they were lumbering into the firelight, you were identifying. The additional information you're trying to tease out will not happen in 6 seconds, but you don't know if it's 6 or 9 or 12 or 18.
Yeah.
So this is
I'm going forward with it.
Okay, all right, you continue to do it. Call leaps forward, and again here, sorry, go ahead.
Lilith?
Yeah, so Call's going to go first. Call's leaping forward. He goes to the aid of Phineas against this one that is closest to him. And everybody can see that there. I love this spotlight feature. This is better than my laser. Okay, so as Call engages, he lets out a cry. Die, you feral creatures! Be gone and leave no more with mine! And his scythes spin in his hands, and that's a nat 19 on the first roll, and the 7 not on the second one. All right, so his first blade comes up. He catches the giant right in the calf, opens up, a nice fountain of blood off the back of this creature's calf. As it lumbers forward, and now we will go to Lilith.
Okay, so Lilith is going to move forward a little bit, so she's within 30 feet of the 35 feet of these guys.
Yeah, that's just a few feet away. They got pretty heavily. Okay.
And then she's going to on the one that's with Brim, I guess.
Okay.
She's going underneath him. She's going to cast Soften Earth and Stone to make the ground kind of completely turn to goo underneath this Etten to try to kind of like suck him down to make him unable to move.
Who said Etten? All right, so, hey, thank you for the sub, 888. I love that spell. All right, so as she casts that, remind me of what the area of effect is on that.
It's 10 foot square per level, so it would be 50 feet square.
Oh my! So is she going to use? So is she going to put that whole 50 feet behind the creature?
Yeah, she doesn't want to catch any of her allies in it, so she's going to put it where it's just going to catch that creature, hopefully.
Okay. All right. So I haven't figured out yet how to make my sphere bigger. I'll figure that out between next time. But so you're going to make it. It's going to go. So you can't catch the second one without catching your party. You can see that. You can see that angle there. That won't work. But you can put it sort of on this one and back behind it. Do you want to center it on this one, or are you going to bias it more left or right?
I'm gonna kind of center it on him. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're going to center that on him. Let me check this. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Well, isn't that interesting? All right. So. As Brim, you challenge the one in front of you. It looks around, flee, it starts to laugh. It looks at the other head on its other shoulder. God, you want us to free? Why should we free? We have more brothers. And you, Brim, from the side, you see a third of these creatures approaching. But even as it does so, the spell leaves Lilith's hands, and centered, that 50 feet catches it as well. Suddenly, all of the stone begins to soften beneath their feet. And we will resolve what happens with that next time. All right, so that's where we will conclude tonight, and thank you so much. We're ending a little early because I do not want Lilith to miss this combat, especially after she did something so cool. But I'm going to show you guys a little bit more Tailspire tonight. We're going to have our giveaway. We have our stream MVP vote, so do not leave us. There is still some fun stuff yet to be had here. So, players, thank you. I know we kind of worked through a little bit of newness, but overall, I thought that worked pretty well, don't you? I didn't think like there was a lot of disruption. Did you feel like it was too distracting, or how did you? And you can be completely candid. So I want all of our viewers, if you think like what happened tonight, in terms of this new tool was distracting, or it sucked, or whatever, I want you to be completely honest. This is not a setup question. People at Tailspire, I just want honesty here. So players, what'd you think?
I want to know what that freaking sword is.
Yeah, I can't give I've got to see once it's running smooth.
Yeah, same.
I mean, honestly, until I see it running smooth, then I can tell you. I mean, obviously the visual graphics are phenomenal. I think how it looks on screen looks really great, but you've got to see it as a full package. That's my feeling on it.
Yeah, no, I think that's well said. Anybody else?
Kind of on the same note. I think the blend of this and the tabletop minis and all that is a great mix. And then the more you're familiar with it, the less behind the scenes we see. So
Right. So as an example, this is something I didn't want to interrupt the stream and test, and I would have to work with but if you look at this, Now I'm on it. I'm not seeing any of that glitching. I dropped the resolution from 4K to 7 to
better.
Yep.
1080.
Oh,
Yep,
that's
now it's
so
all
cool.
smooth.
Yeah. So I think this is not something that was a problem per se with the tool. I do think it's going to get less demanding, but you can see already just by making that small modification, this looks like I'm not getting any of the jitteriness with you guys, and so this is what we will experience next time.
Honestly, I like coming from a DM perspective and about to start my own stream soon. I would definitely see myself using this, and I might reach out to them as well, because this is incredible. Like even the little what really just blew my mind was the little bit of detail in just like the ground moving. Like you set down the mini and oh.
Yeah. Well, so I'll show you guys a couple other things here. And again, we're not sponsored by Tailspire. I'm just geeking out about it. I think it is so cool as a tool. But let me show you here what you will also be able to. Whoops, I clicked the wrong thing here. What you'll be able to do. I'm trying to get this. I'm modifying my views live on stream, which you're not supposed to do, but that's okay. We're just among friends here, right? So
Are we?
I'll have to figure out, are we really? I'll figure out how to get that a little bit better. But now, like during combat, you can do cool things like this. So for example, if Lilith attacks him with a magic missile,
Yeah, you can see that.
it's got, so you select the creature, you right click there and you say boom.
Great.
And if you have melee combatants, so let's zoom in here on Brim. And again, like you guys said, I'll get better with this tool. And I'm doing my typical. Hey, thank you for the sub, Myamorph. I'm doing my typical one-man band, a monkey with the cymbals on his arms and the accordion in his hands. But if I take here and you're doing a regular melee attack on him, it just does this little kind of rock and shake thing here. Which is still pretty cool. And then let's say, for example, it's too dark and you decide to light a torch.
Yeah.
Look, are you okay, Josh?
So these are all nice and everything, but could you show us the healing spells? That's what everybody wants to see.
Yeah, that's what everyone really wants to see. This
Okay.
is so cool.
They don't have all the spell animations in yet that they're planning on.
You guys
adding.
got to remember, this is pre-beta.
Right.
Hey, thank you all of our mad chatters. Hang with us for a second. And anybody that came in late, do not fear. We remain committed here to old school minis and terrain, like this stuff I have here. I want Blue Box to be the go-to place for blending physical terrain and minis, theater of mind, great role play, story arcs, narratives, and virtual tabletop. I want it all. I want to be the place that you guys can just enjoy immersion in all types of D&D. Ultimately, the narratives, the role play are the center of it, and this is why I try so hard not to let these tools become a distraction. Now tonight more than ever a distraction because I'm featuring and I'm learning. I've had my hands on this literally for 2 days and I've spent about 3 hours with it, so there's a lot more to do. But let me just show you guys a couple other things.
It looks so realistic.
Yeah. Look at how cool Brim looks in that.
I know, right?
That's impressive.
Isn't that a gorgeous Brim?
Gosh.
And this resolution change fixed all of our stuttering issues. So I'll bet you let me see what my GPU is doing right now real quick here. Yeah, I know your screen's all disappeared for a second. That's because I pulled up my taskbar.
Tell us about your gapoo.
So let's see here. You guys can all see my gapoo. My gapoo has dropped from 99 to 81. So that is a tolerable place. And by the way, again, this is a pretty beefy box, twin 3060s in SLI mode, but with 5 4K cams, all the stuff, it is definitely being taxed. Now, before we go, so let's go ahead. We're going to do Stream MVP. We're going to do our giveaway. But while we're getting ready for Stream MVP, I want to show you guys a couple other things. So this is how quickly I can change boards. So let's say, for example, the party teleports to a jungle scene. Boom.
Let's teleport.
Yeah, it's something my Rune Lords group has on Sundays because they have a 10th level mage. So you're here, and now I'm in a completely different scene and setting just that easily. And then what about this wraith here? Can you guys see this wraith?
Yeah.
Well, what you don't realize is this wraith actually can fly. So now he is flying off the ground, and I can move him, I can teleport him, I can raise his level off the ground, and then as you move through terrain, I can follow that here like so, and now you get this beautiful sort of 3D visual, and we can walk. Thank you so much for the sub, Lord Fourth, longtime follower. We're just having a little bit of fun here with toys, but you know, then you go inside, and inside here, now you have this little kind of mini temple area. Or, wait a minute, you're back in Hamlet, and I've got to show this off because it was made by our own Evelyn.
Yeah, I knew it.
Now, I have multiple taverns, but this is her tavern. So let me back out here so you can kind of see what we're looking at. So here are some taverns that I already had. Slabs are made possible, so the community creates this stuff. I didn't have to create these things. They share it for free online. Now, not the stuff you saw from Demangund, that kind of level with the Death House, that is you get through the paywall on DM's Guild, or you can get it as a giveaway here on the 14th. But this is what Evelyn made in one night. So let me pull this down. Again, I'm still working through my controls, but honestly, I don't feel like I'm any more clunky with these controls than I am just moving my minis around on the table, which can sometimes be cumbersome. So when you get
never saw a mini get knocked over either.
No, that's right. I have not. That's right. Oh, thank you for the mockery. So the doors open and close. So you enter, and this is Shay Evelyn that we move into here. Let me get a little bit lower with my, there we go, with my view. And look at that. Bearskin rug in front of the fireplace. This like you can do, and you got to figure out your right camera angles. Now, if something can get in the way, you can drop the tops off these things. So like here, let me move this slider down, and that gets.
I was gonna ask about breakaway view.
Yeah, so you get the breakaway.
It breaks,
see,
you can pull away
yeah, see,
layer
so I
after
can do
layer.
breakaway levels and views on it as well. So now this gives me the ability to really kind of see a better angle on the tavern. Hang on here, sorry guys,
And it does it as you walk into the area too. So
Exactly, it does. It does with the minis as you walk into the area. So here is this beautiful tavern that Evelyn created. I love this. And then you right-click to focus.
Yeah, can you show us Winston?
Winston,
Okay,
it's not there.
so you
Lilith is in there. She was by the fireplace.
wait. You want to see Winston? Hold on here. I'm pretty
Well, I
sure.
don't. D&D player 888 does.
Oh, okay.
But
I've got a rooster. I've got a donkey. There we go. There's a Winston. Right there's.
I thought Winston was a donkey.
just show away.
Winston is a rug now too. No.
Yeah. There's your Winston.
To heal blue.
So guys, again, I think this is going to be a lot of fun to be able to coordinate this with our tabletop settings. I think it's just going to help us tell better stories. Stories in which we still have the narratives, we have the role play, we have the theater of mind, but we also have the picture, which is worth 1,000 words, where we combine. We got prop makers here, we got theater people here. I think they understand the benefit and value of these, but I have to get to the place where this blends into the background, where it just feels like part of the story instead of being a little bit clunky as it was tonight, but we will get there. All right, so type ! Disney in the chat, and let's go around. Why should you be Stream MVP? And let's start with you, Rory. Why should Gimbal be Stream
Gimbal
MVP?
should be Stream MVP because he was, for all intents and purposes, trying to set up a very crafty brew. He cast a spell on his own team, and it was not to heal them. And so then I cast a spell, I went over, and I had an interaction with Squeaks, even giving up my own pendant to ensure that he is more likely to stay safe from Halia, and assuring him that I will find him. And, even in the sight of a giant of all giants, I'm still ensuring this weapon is safe before I give it to Brim.
Love it, and really love the fact that the gnome remained fixated on the magic item as these giants descended on the campsite. That was awesome. You'll have a chance to vote for Gimbal in a second. Remember, these players get 1,000 experience points if they win Stream MVP. And then who is he going to be rolling for, Evelyn?
Oh yes, he will be rolling now. Phantom Indra.
Robert! All right, Robert is up. Now remember, you have not won yet. We're doing the old school roll-off. There are 4 players here, so each one of them will be rolling for one of you who are an entrant in the giveaway. Let's go to Terry. Why should Rin be Stream MVP?
Oh, Rin should be Stream MVP for multiple reasons. First, the thorough healing that he's taking care of the party members, this includes Call today, Mr. Call, of course. Learning a little bit about Grim and his leadership style, and writing down that quote that he looks forward to using again in the future at some point. Also, questioning the colorations of Gimbal, which was both confusing and awe-inspiring. Very interesting, and additionally, making sure that Landra was okay to go off by herself, and realizing that he would and should and may never go by himself in an area like that ever. Indeed.
Very nice. And who will he be rolling for, Evelyn?
Ren will be rolling for. Let's see. Roll it. Where's the button? There it is. Mousetrapped. That's
Oh, Mousetrapped, also known as Honeybee Crafter, one of our newest mods. Thank you so much. Also, I know I've already heard has been a huge help in the preparation for BlueBoxCon. We are so appreciative. So congrats. All right, now let's go to. Are you okay, Josh?
Come to me last.
Okay.
He's having feelings.
This is so cool.
I know.
Josh, you have to get in and play it now.
Yeah,
I literally am going to stream myself putting something together.
I
for
got
this.
you.
fun.
I got you free licensing for this, man.
Yeah, seriously, I'm about to kiss you when I see you.
I should have mentioned Tailspire, the folks at Bouncy Rock, they gave each of these players for GHA because they're all remote. Each one of them got free licenses to this tool. So thank you so much to Bouncy Rock and the folks with Tailspire, and we're going to be seeing lots of fun stuff happening. All right, so let's go to you. Evelyn, why should you, either as Lilith or as Alondra, be Stream MVP?
Yolandra. Yolandra should be Stream MVP for, let's see, the way she reacted to Gimbal throwing colored dust at her, being very confused by this strange little gnome, and keeping hold of the rope and making sure that nothing happened to Cole, realizing that seeing the rope through the portal being severed and bloody, realized that it was time to raise the alarm and actually checked to see if it was still connected or if it was some sort of illusion created by the images through the portal.
That was nicely done.
And then after they went through, thinking to actually look for steps of Cole, his footprints perhaps, or Phineas trying to track his scent, using her ranger skills to consider the best approach to locate Cole before he revealed himself to still be there. And then being the one to be willing to kind of search out a safe place for the party to rest, and teasing Ren a little bit about him not wanting to stay behind with the others, wondering if he needed to have her protecting him, but yeah, so all of that, that would be why Alondra should be Stream MVP.
Well, you did a fantastic job tonight, Evelyn. Thank you so much. All right. Now, if Josh can please stop drooling on himself, tell us why Brim should be Stream MVP.
I'm gonna roll for who I'm.
Oh yes, go ahead.
I can't be you. Sorry. DM 221532.
Oh, very cool, very cool. Congratulations, my friend. You are in the running. And now let's go to Brim. Why should Brim be Stream MVP tonight, Josh?
Brim should be Stream MVP because Wow, sorry, let me gather my thoughts again. So Brim should be stream MVP because at the beginning he just wanted to go along with the group. He was ready to go through the portal and ready to go. Then when jumping through, his immediate alertness to anything and everything around him, and especially even when call came, he was like, nope, I need to double check to see if this could be a paling. Almost killed Call because of a possible accidental paling.
And because the DM forgot what he had been given.
Which really almost made Call like. But yeah, so there's that. And then, oh, I swear he did something else. Oh, right, the quote that he said about being the leader, how Brim definitely did not see himself as the leader, but kind of being willing to take that kind of face value at least, and then, but also his words of he's not alone in this, as he's tried to say so many other times. And then waiting to see about the sword, and then going and dealing a butt ton of damage. That's what I got.
Yeah, that was nicely done. All right, and who's he going to be rolling for, Evelyn? Thank you so much, everybody, for all the new followers. We had a level 5 hype train. Oh, let's go! We had a level 5 hype train at the beginning of the night tonight, and just so thankful for all the subs, all the gifts, all the followers. We're a growing stream, but we're still a new stream. It blows me away. We shot past 1,000 followers. We're getting close to 1,100 in just we had like 60 followers in the last week and a half. But we still pull these great numbers of viewers. So we have 60, 70, 80, 90 viewers each time we stream. I don't see that kind of engagement anywhere. And I'm not saying that as a pat on the back. I'm saying that as a thank you. How engaged this community is, how much you guys really stick behind us and help us grow this channel. This is all about old school D&D using new school tools, right? So, we're running the old systems, we're doing the old style role play. We've had a 1E Cavalier. We use D6 initiative group style stuff. We got brutal crit tables, but we're using the new technologies to really take the D&D experience as it was intended by Gary Gygax and Dave Arneson, but to tell those stories in a way that they could not have imagined possible in the 1970s. All right, so let's roll. And Gimbal, you're up first.
And poll's going up now.
Here's the poll for Stream MVP. Pick your MVP, top right-hand corner, and you can give one of these players 1,000 experience points.
Okay, rolling for Phantom, and
John.
that is 2d20, right?
Right?
John, please keep showing off the thing.
Okay, I'll keep showing off the thing, John.
Well, Phantom, my rules continue. Double fives.
Double fives. God, what is with your dice, dude?
Ouch. Ouch.
All right, let's
I
go.
mean, square, that's 25, right?
That's right. All right, Rin, go ahead. Who are you rolling for?
All right, we're rolling for Mousetrapped. And here we go.
Let's
It's gotta
go.
be better than fives, right?
Right?
A 5. And a 14, though.
Oh, okay. Mousetrap
there's-
takes the lead. All right, you're up, Evelyn.
All right, I am rolling for DM 221532.
Double ones.
18.
I'm sorry, Mousetrapped. I failed you.
Let's go. Very, very nice. All right, and then last but not least, go ahead, Josh.
Captain Marmorf, I got you.
Here we go, Tom.
Here we go. That is a 9 and a 6, or a 6 and a 9.
So the winner is...
Oh, I'm sorry.
DM 221532.
Woo! Let's go! Congratulations, my friend. You have won the Mike Disney Overgourd print. So I was almost sure I had your information. I'm looking now. I'm not seeing it. Just in case, if you're in our Discord,
I'll drop the Discord.
DM me. If you're not, go ahead and jump in our Discord. Send me a direct message. I just need your full name and mailing address. I thought I had it here. I'm not seeing it. It's probably my fault. You probably did it, and I misfiled it somewhere. What did I miss? What are you laughing at, Terry?
Not sure when has to sit back in the corner now.
Oh, hey, good to see you, Kayla, Time Lord's wife, popping in here at the end of our stream. Kayla, we're playing some D&D and we're showing off some cool, fun tools. This is Tailspire, and they were kind enough to give us some licenses here at Blue Box, and we're going to use this to augment our physical terrain, and this to me is the most incredible virtual tabletop tool ever created for D&D. And then the winner of the stream MVP, it's close. Let's see.
Well, that winds down.
If you add
close.
if you add
Well, it's
everybody else
almost done.
together, it's close.
to being done.
Yeah.
Well, that winds down, John. Even like if those giants start to sink, right? You can do that in the game too. They can sink into the ground.
That's right. I can drop them. I can drop them.
You can sink scenery into
You
the
can sink
ground.
scenery. I can drop them into lower levels. Congratulations, Gimbo! You are stream MVP. Huzzah, my friend!
Thank you. Gimbal love to everyone. Give me your addresses. Gimbal love to everyone.
Oh no.
Oh, by the way, we haven't done this tonight, but if you're watching right now, and you haven't followed, or if you're a follower and you haven't subbed, which I can't imagine there's any subs left with all the gifts, but thank you, everybody. We have one question for you. What are you doing? Come on, give us a follow, give us a sub here at Blue Box. When we come back with this group next time, you're going to find them right back here in the Twisted Forest. This is Greyhawk lore. This place is a place of the twisted, lost, the damned, and the condemned. And it is not a place that you want to be, but it is the place where these players are, and I think we've already figured out how to make this tool work better for us. We are so appreciative to all of you, and we will have tomorrow night Lore Masters Arcanum. We'll pop the topics in our Discord and on Instagram tomorrow. That's 5:45 tomorrow night on Wednesday. And then our Sunday Rune Lords campaign. We're right back here Sundays at 1:30. That's an everybody in the same room. That's a live in the room game, but it's still the same old school style, and we'll figure out how to make these tools work as well with our local tabletop and our people physically in the room. So with all that said, thank you to my players, thank you to all of our followers and viewers, thank you to all the new subs, all the people that gave tonight. We love you, and we're going to figure out who to raid now.
We got Praetor's Rejects is up, Not Great RPG, Night Hard Gaming.
Okay, hang on here. Let me kill this. I almost forgot. I have one other cool thing to show, which is, as we often do, we had beautiful Blue Box fan art tonight. And here,
It was good.
this is from Pat Draws. This is, what the actual heck, small one? Coda Chromaticus. Gimbal tries to capture a Kodak moment. Oh, Pat Draws, you are genius, my friend. Thank you so much. Absolutely unbelievable. All right, so now I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to raid. And before we close, any of our players have comments to any of the viewers and fans?
You all
Okay.
look fantastic.
Tailspire's really
no, we love
pretty.
you. You're the best.
Tailspire's really pretty.
Yes, Tailspire.
Really pretty.
You okay,
Hey,
Josh?
Josh, could you wipe the drool from your mouth?
Yeah, dude,
No.
it's a little obscene, Josh. I wanted to elicit a reaction, but that's a little more graphic than I intended.
Gosh, Josh.
Gosh, Josh. Thank you, as always, Mad Chatters.
so posh.
Your chat makes this channel happen. You guys are just incredible, ye Mad Chatters. And our raid, is it going?
It says that we are rating.
Oh, here we go. Raiding now. We are raiding Nightheart Gaming, our good friends over there. All kinds of cool minis, terrain, and Greyhawk goodness. And we're raiding them with 58, I think.
And we're out.
And boom, 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 boom.
OUTIE.
58. Let's go. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Blue Box love.